Good morning. Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray here on a Sunday. But the great Matt McCarthy, formerly of Carver, Massachusetts, right now of somewhere near Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, the greater Great Woods area, Joe.
Ooh, I like that. Greater Great Woods area. Yeah. We'll do the Bregman stuff, and we'll talk about USA hockey and the All-Star games and whatever else. But we made it here today, Matt.
We did. Joe, can we open with the take you just gave me off the air? Because I thought it was a tremendous take.
Well, we'll set the table at 617-779-0985. I believe we're on YouTube as well.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Whoa. How about
Thank
that?
you, everybody watching on YouTube. I read the chats. Maybe Matt does, too.
I do, too.
All right.
Anytime I'm in for you. I'll be damned. Look at this. We're on YouTube. This must be a Joe experience. Normally, when I'm in doing the 10 o'clock on Sunday, they don't put me on YouTube. What does this say about me, Joe? Should I be offended? Should I take this personally?
Joe makes me work a little bit more on Sundays.
Yeah. Oh, so what you're saying is Joe's an a-hole and I'm nice to you.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's
I like doing the YouTube, but I'm not the best at it. But we do it for Joe.
We have help.
Joe likes it.
We have help today. Jake Seymour.
We have help today.
Hell yeah.
So Jake's helping us out.
Seymour.
So yes, Matt, I'm here. You mentioned that you're here on Sundays as well. We're both here.
Yep, that's right.
Which, quite frankly, I said in the nicest way possible. I don't need you. You don't need me. But we're both here, and I don't want to be here. And it's not that I don't want to talk to the millions and work with you, Matt, because I love working with you.
No, thank you, Joe. That was, I think, what you said is, I'm not going to lie. I don't really need you.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that.
Then you said, but you don't need me.
Yes, exactly.
I got totally what you meant, and you said, and I quote, I don't know. You didn't say I don't need you. You said we don't need each other, but I don't need to be here.
Yes. I said,
which
hey,
is
man,
a tremendous take.
I don't want to be working on Sundays.
Yeah.
I'm working Sundays.
Here you are.
Part of my gig. But you could do this all by yourself today. You don't need me.
I'm glad I'm not.
Yes, I said the same thing.
Yes.
I don't want to do the show alone either. So I'm glad we're both together. But I don't know, when you woke up and saw the snow outside, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Tell me you didn't think once inside your head, I could just do this from home.
I did think that. But you know what, Joe? Out of respect to you, I'm here.
And so out of respect to you,
You're here.
I am here.
Here we go. Just two guys who respect each other, who definitely don't need each other,
Who don't need to be here.
doing this for each other.
We're doing it for the listeners, right? Is that why we do
And
this?
for you, Joe.
Oh, for you
Now,
too.
I mean, I will say, did I rush out the door this morning 20 minutes earlier than I had to? No. You know why? Because I said if I hit a little bit of trouble coming in here, I know Joe can do it, which I'm sure was your attitude too, which probably in an alternate reality leads to neither of us showing up on time.
Well, I'll tell you this. That's right. We did have a pre-production meeting today on a Sunday, which never happens. So we all got here early. It sucks outside. It's been worse. We've had worse snow, no doubt about it. But I ran into snowblower guy today.
Maz?
Jeff Williams today. Well, listen,
Let's get the errands going.
Just wait. Let me just set up Maz because I know Jeff talked about this earlier. Jeff used his snowblower today. I did not use my snowblower. Shout out to Eric, my next door neighbor, who goes, "Hey, you want me to take care of the end of your driveway there? Takes 2 minutes." I go, "I'll time you." So shout out to Eric, my snowblower neighbor. Yes, thank you. I did shovel though.
Oh, heroic.
But
Good for you.
Maz will send out the picture later of a pristine, like it looks like it was like brushed. You know, like the umpire brushes the plate.
No, he is the Tom Brady of snowblowing.
Yes.
Nobody better.
So Jeff goes, "Yep, got up early with my truck. Went outside, snow blowed. It was great." And so he goes, you know those people who just after the job that they do, they just look at it like they like sip like a glass of coffee or whatever, whiskey at that time of morning?
I did it.
No, you did that today?
No, what I'm saying is you look at it and you say, I did it. No, Joe, I not that I'm not capable of doing it, because I am. Excellent with the snowblower. Nobody better with the shovel. I do live in a place where everything gets taken care of for you.
That's great.
Nice.
Well, that's part of the amenities.
Sure is.
You would have to
What
pay.
I pay for.
You pay for it.
I do.
That's not it's a luxury, but you pay for it.
I do. Yep.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
And
that-
hey, listen, there's if you do a timeshare and someone needs the roof done, you're paying that too.
Yep.
So
You got
I mean,
that right.
so it just you look at it, you're paying for the luxury.
I just opened my garage, drove right out this morning. No snow blowing, nothing. Pretty good.
So I like a little chit chat back and forth before we get into the hot takes.
Sure.
Some people don't. Hey, how about the Four Nations face off already?
Oh, that was great last night, wasn't it?
So
We'll get to it.
But yes, there's a lot to get into, but Alex Bregman spoke this morning too, so we'll get all that. We're rolling that in right now, so you guys can all get it. I don't know why they decided that 8:30 today was a time to do that, but just thinking about this morning though, I think North Shore there might have been 6 inches, and I was under the impression that it was gonna just be rain.
Just be rain? I don't know if you were paying attention.
Well, that's not me. I mean,
It kind of sounds like a you thing.
No. Meteorologists. We have listeners that are meteorologists.
Yes.
And they have given us confirmation at times that it's not going to be as bad. Da. Let's just say that, just like gambling and giving out picks, the weather guys don't always get it right either.
Well, I mean, I'm going to defend the weather guys on this one, Joe, because you've got the famous rain-snow line. Once we introduce the rain-snow line and the freezing rain element of this thing, I feel like I encountered 17 different conditions on my ride in this morning. A little bit of snow, definitely a little bit of freezing rain at the end of it, pouring rain, drizzling rain, you name it, slush on the road, snow. Like, how is it raining, but there's snow here? I'm gonna cut them a little bit of slack on this one. These are hard storms to predict. This one. The rest of them, where we're talking, no rain snow line, and it's just, how many inches of snow are we getting? Nah, that one's on you guys. This one, a little harder to predict. I'll cut them some slack.
So, I don't want to give them slack because I get no slack. We woke up today. I shoveled, damn it. Thank you to Eric, my snowblower friend.
Good for you, Joe.
Jeff's like, yep, snowblower was here on time. Just as far as conditions go, and if you're hanging out with us, you're shoveling, you're blowing, you're hanging out. This is the spot.
Plowing.
We're here all day. We're here plowing too.
We're here for the blowers and the plowers, Joe.
Shout out to our guys that are working the news trucks as well. I know they're out there. 617-779-0985. That's the number. But yes, it was the slush. I think was the biggest problem for me today. The slush on the roads is you get a little rough patch and the other night the wind on my way home was something different too. So we're in it. I will bring up just the fact it is President's Day weekend, and I used to work in the automotive business, and in 2015 we had 4 storms in a row.
5 every Monday.
I think it was either 111 or 114 inches of snow that year.
Yeah, didn't melt till July.
It's right. I remember
Snow
on July 4th, they were still showing the snow piles in Southie. I remember that. That was the worst year of snow. We've been lucky. I think we've been pretty lucky.
So last night, I think we surpassed the snow totals from the last 2 winters. Total, like cumulative for the season. It's been light. It's been light here. It means we all forget how to handle it. Going soft, Joe. That would be my concern.
Well, my whole thing is always keep a budget. By the way, there's a shortage of ice melt right now. What's up with that? What's that place that Ben Affleck worked in the movie?
There's a shortage of ice melt?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, again, somebody takes care of this for me. I'm not responsible.
I'm actually curious about this. This is a very good conversation on a Sunday, but is anyone having ice melt issues? Meaning finding ice melt? Because I've gone to the local hardware store. I've gone to the big chains. Some people were buying this flour rock salt kind of thing to make up for it. And I'm like, does that even work? So I'm actually curious about that.
You're right. New England ice melt shortage. Reading here from WBZ.
I didn't even need to read an article to tell you that. There's a shortage out there. So I got a little bit left. But after this week, what am I? I'm going to have to buy that plant stuff that everyone's getting?
Joe, you always need to know a guy. You come to me. You know how I said that everything gets taken care of for me where I live? This is now only the second winter where that's happened. It's a part of our HOA. They now take care of it. I have 2 things of ice melt for you. Unused, because now I'm not responsible for it. I'll hook you up.
Oh, well, listen, I appreciate you hooking me up, but dude, that's a valuable item.
I know.
Like,
but you're my guy. Like, I don't need it, but maybe you need it.
Oh, I might.
So I'm going to take care of you.
You know what? Thank you.
What goes around comes around.
You know what?
That's the theme of the show. Joe, you don't need to be here.
Yes.
I don't need to be here, but we both respect each other. Hence, we are here.
And we're here together.
I don't need the ice melt. Maybe you need the ice melt. I'm going to take care of you.
All right. Well, Matt, I'm a humble person, but just like the guy who said it would take 2 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not. If somebody's off going forward in my life, I know we're up against it. For the rest of my life, I'm 42 years old. I'm not saying no anymore. I've been humble my entire life.
Don't be it anymore.
When someone says, hey, do you want this? I'm just going to say yes. Hey, do you want to? I got passes to the game. Do you want them? Yes, even if I don't want to go to the game.
I had that same experience a couple days ago. Found out maybe there were a couple tickets lying around here. Maybe former me would not have walked up to somebody and said, hey, still got those tickets? I walked up to somebody. They still had those tickets. I'm going to the game on Thursday.
Now,
screw you.
If someone's shooting their shot at me, I'm going to say yes going forward. That's it. I've because I am that kind of guy. Nah, man, I got it, dude. Don't worry about it. I hate putting people out of their way. I feel like I put you out of your way today.
No, you haven't put me out of my way. I don't need the ice melt. It's yours.
But no, what I'm saying is here. You could do this alone. This could be the Matt McCarthy snow experience.
Joe, do I want to do it alone or do I want to do it with you?
Well, you'd want to do it with me.
I'm glad you acknowledge that because I feel the same way.
I want to do it with you.
I want to do it with Joe, baby.
All right. Well, listen, I've worked with Matt on some back in the day when we've done some 4th of July shows. And there's one thing I know that Matt McCarthy loves about America. So you don't know. I don't know if you know what that is yet.
Joe, this is a poll from like nearly 15 years ago at this point.
I knew I was working with you today, so I went deep cuts. So the big USA versus Canada thing last night. I somewhat fell asleep in the second period, but then the goal happened, and I'm like, I gotta see how this thing how this thing ends. So Matt has a take on the USA Canada game last night.
I have many takes.
Listen, you got takes? I'm taking them.
We'll take the takes.
I will take all your takes and yours at 617-779-0985. Hello to our YouTube friends. Brian's in there. Bootler is in there. New England sports guy says he lives in your town, Matt. I don't know who that is. Chop Johnson.
I don't know either, but maybe he knows me.
Frogman's in there. Hey, Frogman. Brian Griffin. JP from NP, who I met last week. Wisco Greeps. All you guys hanging out in chat, get on over to YouTube right now. Go to youtube.com, search 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's McCarthy. It's Joe Murray. We got Jake here, Jeff Williams. And Team USA. We'll get that for you coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. I don't think you understand. The Son of Baconator...
the center of the action. It's Colton Parayko and JT Miller. Parayko's got a big size advantage. Miller's a tough dude. And this is like 1996 when this building opened up with the World Cup.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub, I'm Joe Murray. Matt McCarthy's here. It's the both of us this morning. Y'all hanging out, plowing, shoveling, maybe having a hot chocolate, a hot coffee. Maybe you're just up recapping from some of the stuff from last night. We got it all for you here. USA, Canada.
How good was this, Joe?
So I was excited for it. It was on Friday night I did the show, and people were like, hey, USA, Canada. I had people ask me, hey, who are you betting? It was even money. Like, essentially a pick 'em right down the middle.
Really? See, I mean, I would have thought the U.S. would have been the underdogs in that. I mean, that Canadian team is loaded.
Exactly. When you see something like that, it looks fishy, doesn't it?
Yep.
Team USA won. They won by -1.5 when they were +1.5 for the game. So, technically, it was an upset win. So, the fights. Lead it off, man. I got some stuff on the Bruins who played, but anytime you can get USA Canada, you got to be locked in. And you just to set this up, you probably forgot that there was even an NBA skills challenge last night.
I mean, certainly. I mean, can you imagine wanting to watch whatever the hell the NBA is doing this weekend over what you've gotten in this Four Nations tournament so far? I mean, actual real competition at a time on the sports calendar, Joe, where you desperately need it. I think, your President's Day, you like President's Day, you're a, car salesman guy. I get that, right? This is the worst weekend on the sports calendar, if you ask me. Generally, the Bruins are out west. You have the NBA All-Star Game going on, which is a complete and total waste of time. To have that game last night, this tournament, what a gift. What a gift to sports fans everywhere. That place was electric from the jump. I mean, 3 fights in the first 9 minutes. It delivered in every sense. The McDavid goal, the U.S. coming back, Binnington being a sieve. Man, that was great. Now, hold on. Well, USA, Canada, why are we playing a Russian piece of music?
Well, the 1812 Overture is a Russian piece of music?
Yes.
Well, then
It was written by Tchaikovsky.
I don't care. You remind me of the 1812 Overture. When I think of Matt McCarthy, I think of the 1812 Overture.
I mean, it is pretty badass, so I know why you're thinking of me and that term. Yeah.
Fine, let's find some American music then, damn it. But no, I want the 1812 Overture.
Cannons.
When I talk, yes.
What could be more American?
Written
by a Russian.
This is a, yes.
But what could be more Americans than firing some cannons, baby?
This is a deep cut with Matt McCarthy. Years ago, he loved the 1812 Overture at the Pops, right?
Yes. Very upset.
That they blew it off, right?
They totally blew it off. We had the Beach Boys out there. There was some rain coming, a storm coming like today. They wheeled the Beach Boys out there, and they canceled the 1812 Overture. I was very upset.
So you thought about this too much. I just wanted to play it because you missed it. So I figured it would be funny playing something that you loved and missed while you talked about America. Yet it was written by a Russian.
That has basically nothing to do with
America.
Well,
you know what?
Other than...
It's because of you.
Yes, but other than the Pops saying we need something badass to end our concert with, why don't we bring out some cannons and play the 1812 Overture, and then we have adopted it as Americans, which I'm all for. Well, I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's not an American piece of music. An American piece of music is America from Team America World Police. That's an American piece of music.
Line. That's
Freebird, a lot of Freebird.
Freebird.
I heard Freebird so much the other night when they were laying a beat down on Finland. I actually thought Jenny was going to jump this time. Like, I heard it so much. I'm like, yeah, she's going to do it this time.
Some birds aren't meant to be caged.
They're not. Poor Jenny. Tough life.
Yeah.
Sometimes there just aren't enough rocks, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes there aren't enough fights.
There were enough fights last night.
No,
perfect amount of fights.
I think it was perfect. My real takeaway was it because of booing the American national anthem? Is that why?
I think it created a little bit more of a electric atmosphere. So, I mean, is there a small part of what's going on politically in the world, part of this? Yeah. I mean, Brady Tkachuk said the other night that they knew they were going to be the villains and they were willing to accept that role. So is that a small portion of the electricity that was in that building last night? I mean, of course. I'm not going to sit here and say that it wasn't. I'm just here for the game. You know what I mean? Like, in the end, I don't care about what happened before the game. I care about what happened when the puck dropped. And when the puck dropped, 3 guys got in fights, and you beat Canada 3-1. The game itself was unbelievable. It was electric. But yeah, I mean, some of that stuff, no doubt. I mean, it contributed to the environment. How could you say it didn't?
And then there was another fight. Mm-hmm. And then there was another fight.
That's right. Kept on fighting.
So the action was good early on. You mentioned the McDavid goal. That was a thing of beauty.
Filthy.
It really was. Like, you just love hockey. That guy's the best player in the world.
Yep.
I've had this debate before, Crosby or McDavid. I've done this with other people in the world.
Oh, McDavid's better.
Yeah.
Crosby's not doing that.
No, but I'm talking about, like, first, 5 years, 10 years in the league, Crosby versus McDavid. It's really close. I've done it. I've done this. I didn't do this on the radio, believe it or not. I was in an adamant discussion with somebody about this off the air. And I started bringing up stats, and then the only thing I had was rings. It was the only thing I had was what Crosby won early. Granted, he played with great players. McDavid is the best player in the world. Just like I mean, in the NBA, Jokic, the best player in the world. I don't know if Shohei Ohtani's the best player in the world.
Oh yeah,
probably
not even close.
What sport have I missed right now? Football. I mean, who's the best player in the world?
Mahomes. You give me a little iffy on that?
I showed it to you. I don't know if you heard it. Me saying.
Well, no, I mean
he probably is.
Joe's kind of waving his hand back and for the folks on the radio. Can you express this in an auditory form, Joe?
He's probably the best player in the world, but he's a little down right now.
Yeah.
After losing the Super Bowl.
And he should be.
Who would be second best?
Josh Allen.
Okay. We could do this another day. But Sunday, what are we doing here? We're hanging out. It's like I had a bar conversation with somebody, McDavid Crosby. I think McDavid is the best player to start a career early on besides the winning success. He's been to a final.
I don't think Crosby's scoring the goal that McDavid scored last night. And that doesn't mean that Crosby doesn't have, the rings or the career or the longevity. I mean, if McDavid obviously wants to get to that place. 3 rings, a couple gold medals, overtime winner against the U.S. in 2010. I mean, Crosby has all that stuff. But, if you're asking me who's the best player of this era, I mean, it's also different eras, too, because, Crosby's been at it for 20 years, and McDavid is, relatively new. But, man, you just, from a pure, I'm sitting down to watch a hockey game standpoint, the electricity that McDavid provided on that goal last night, I don't know I don't think anybody on planet Earth can provide that the way he did. Maybe that doesn't make him better than Crosby, but I'll tell you, in that moment, how do you not react to that?
We got loaded phone lines. Just real quick on the game itself. You were tweeting out about Binnington. I was watching you.
Joe, for the hockey nation, Canada, right? I mean, it's the home of hockey. They are the best nation on planet Earth at playing the sport of hockey. How is Jordan Binnington their best goalie? And more importantly, how do you not watch that game last night and that first goal he gives up? How do you not watch that game and just feel sick to your stomach as a Bruins fan? You let that guy come in here, Game 7, and beat you.
Who would you have played?
I'd play Aiden Hill over him. I think Binnington sucks. And if the U.S. is going to win this thing on Thursday, goaltending is going to be a reason why. Hellebuck is so much better than Binnington. It's not even close.
I just looked this up. All-time Canadian goaltenders, Binnington's 11th in goals against. Logan Thompson, 2.57. Darcy Camper. Marc-Andre Fleury is on there. Aiden Hill, you're right. 2.67 fourth all-time.
They're playing the wrong guy. Don Sweeney and John Cooper are playing the wrong guy.
I'm sorry, who?
Don Sweeney.
That's where I was going with it.
Yep.
I
Wrong guy.
wanted to talk about the players that were locally to bring it back around. Don Sweeney's the one who suggested Binnington should be in net. I think it cost them. Like, did Montreal's their attack, maybe you could question a couple of things. I thought the defense for Team USA was great, outstanding.
Excellent. Charlie McAvoy, that
was
hit.
very good. Hit 5 hits last night.
Outside, I mean, McDavid went past him and went past everybody. But that hit that McAvoy laid on McDavid a few minutes later set the tone of the game for Team USA.
McAvoy, 19 minutes and 23 seconds. I mentioned the 5 hits. 1 shot, 3 attempts. Marchand on the night for Team Canada.
He didn't play much.
8 minutes. 3 attempts. 2 shots, 1 TK. What's that? Takeaway? I don't know. His 1 TK is what I see. And then Elias Lindholm, when he played for Sweden, he had 1 shot, 3 hits, played 10 minutes. He went 36% on faceoffs. That's your Bruins update. But the biggest update is Don Sweeney. He's the guy in charge of the Canadian hockey team, and now they've lost to Team USA. He's getting killed today, I bet. What do you think Montreal radio, Canadian radio sounds like today? That Don Sweeney, right?
Well, yes, but in French, Joe. How do you say Don Sweeney's a bum in
I
French?
actually would like, how do you say Don, as someone who speaks French, please, keep it clean. How do you say Don Sweeney is a bum? Brings me to my next point, because we'll get some calls here. I want you to stew on this for a minute.
Okay.
Put it in the air fryer.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to give me pass or fail Don Sweeney's 10-year run in Boston. Okay,
All right.
Think about it.
I will.
And you guys can think about it, too. At 617-779-0985. Let's take a couple of calls here. I don't have my screener up, so we'll get it going. Let's start with JP and NP. If you can pot them up here for us, Jeff. JP and NP on a Sunday morning, because it's easy.
My board's locked up.
It's easy like Sunday morning.
You want me to try it?
Boom, JP&B, what's up?
A Joe show on a weekend. It's like the old days. Eminem back together. Joe, I'm fired up. McCarthy fired up and up since 4 o'clock drinking coffee. Joe, this is not going to be a sports call. This is going to be an old school JP call covering 10 topics in 1 minute. First of all, that game was like Team Canada and Russia last night. YouTube it. You want to see assault. This is the closest I've seen to Esposito and the gang taking Russian heads off. You got to Google it if you've never seen it. Now, a tip for the salt and the snow. Joe, cat litter with a box of molten salt. Throw it in, throw it out there. Boom, old school, it works. Just giving you a tip there.
Okay.
Now, I can guarantee there was 6 inches of snow because I went to Bella Verona last night. Doubled up on the eggplant rollatini. It was so good, but it's a gift that keeps on giving, and I can't wait to get to work this morning. But it was fantastic. But 3 hours to get home from sailing, drop the missus off, and get back to Warren. Now today it's like nothing. It's raining. The roads are clear, except a little foggy. But it was fantastic, and the place was packed. But it was a great time. But I goofed up a little bit late in the date. So I got to get a hold of Leroy if he's on today, or maybe the Get Up crew. I need some Leroy advice that he's been giving me because I bleeped up big time.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Well, listen.
A couple of sports.
Leroy's not here, but Matt McCarthy's here. He's got great.
No, but Matt's the expert in another field.
No. You'd be surprised the amount. No, I'm telling you, Matt McCarthy's got something for you. You may not know it, and he's got it for you.
I might not know I have.
All right, I couldn't find the right card to get her because I don't know if I'm in love after a year, and she got me a card, and I didn't get her one, and that's a big problem because there was a lot of dead air at the end of the day, and after almost a year, we're supposed to go to Florida in 2 weeks, so I got to try to clear the air and see what's going out.
JP.
But I need an important answer from I can figure that out. Matt, we got Bregman. Give me the over. Are we taking the over?
Taking the
Joe,
over.
I need
We're
a
all
prop
on the
bet.
over.
We're all on the over.
I got it at 84.
I got it at 86.5. But they're going to win 88 games. So
The card, you got a thought on the card?
Yeah. You need to establish the expectations in the relationship. It's not on you if she didn't express that she wanted X. The same way, it's not on her if you don't express that you want whatever you want or whatever you need. This is what I've realized in life, Joe. You got to set the expectations where they need to be set.
You have to set expectations.
Communication, Joe.
But I'll also say this to JP. Don't bring it back up. It was a moment. You got tested. You failed. Just move on. She'll get past it.
Plow through.
He's got Florida in a couple of weeks, right?
Yep. You're good.
Just ride the roller coaster for a day or two.
You'll be fine. We've all been there before.
It's gonna
Up and down, Joe. Up and down.
And but the other thing to do is because that expectation hasn't been set yet, always go goofy. Like if you don't know where to go, go cheesy because it's the thought and like a little bit of like effort.
Yes. But if she doesn't reciprocate, then it's not actually really serious. So you're good.
Yeah.
You're protecting yourself there too.
Pro move. I would tell him, don't bring it back up.
No.
Ride it for a couple of days.
Stay away.
And then she'll come back. They don't always come back. I don't mean it like that. I just mean it in this case, don't overthink it.
You'll be all right.
Don't overthink it.
He's got this.
Jake's in Andover. Hey, Jake. Well, did I lose Jake? Wow, I lost Jake.
What line are you trying to go to?
Jay. Sorry, Jay's in the car. I got it up now. Hey, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
How are you? Hey, USA is the better team, but here's the thing. Canada wins outright tomorrow in regulation, they're in. And Cale Makar didn't play last night. Some people think he's the best player in the world. And that's not an opinion. Some people say that. So, I don't know. It's not over. We haven't won anything yet.
We couldn't be more right about that.
We haven't won anything yet.
Yeah, but that's good, right? That was sports. It makes you get excited about something, makes you back a team, a nation, whatever it is. You want that. That's what you want to feel as a sports fan.
Yep.
Last night, Joe, that was a great night to be a sports fan. It was one of those nights where you say, I can't believe there are people out there who don't like sports.
I yesterday used my Valvoline instant oil change.
The oil change for busy people.
That's right. Yes, I used that yesterday.
I do too. All the
and
time.
then I went and saw my friends over at Petrillo, shout out in Peabody. And when I went in there, they had a nice little iPad with pregame ceremony at like 5 and 6 o'clock. They were ready for this thing. They were pumping out orders all day. And they had a little screen with, pregame stuff, NHL Network stuff,
Yep.
And they were like, I can't wait for the game tonight. They're just like, the game's going to be awesome. And like their kids were interested wearing like USA stuff. And I'm like, this is a big deal.
Good moment. Good moment. How could you not, seriously, if you watched that game last night, how do you walk away from that being like, oh, it was okay? It was awesome. Doesn't get much better.
Someone goes, here's your Don Sweeney French translation. Don Sweeney sucks, eh? I want to pay off that question, Matt, on the other side here.
Let's do it.
Well, you can react to that. Alex Bregman spoke this morning at 8:30. It's now 10:41. We're going to have it for you. So you're not going to miss anything. We'll have it all for you here. I get some – there was some funny stuff in the NBA last night. No one saw it, but I'll tell you about it. And I get some random stuff from Matt McCarthy today. Because, I can't really do sports for 4 hours.
It's Sunday, Joe. It's snowing.
And it's snowing. You know what, though? I'll just one piece of snow advice. Get up and do it now. Because it wasn't fluffy. It was kind of hard from some of the sleet and rain and all that. But I'd do it now.
Are we getting a drop in temperatures tonight?
That's another thing. Dude, we've had 3 storms now in about a week and a half. The more you pack over or drive over that stuff, it's worse.
No, you don't want to do that.
So what, you got a weather update?
Yeah, we're going to drop below freezing overnight. You got to
do it now.
You got to get it taken care of.
It's going to take you over an hour. If you have a snow blower, you'll be out there for 2 hours. Because God knows there are people who love snow blowing. And just remember, there's a payoff. Like Jeff and Matt have said. I don't know what it looked like. It reminds me of Christmas Vacation. When once the lights are up and he's like, I've never had that feeling. I'm usually.
What's wrong with you?
No, I've never looked outside at my driveway and my shoveling and been like,
In pride?
Again, shout out to my old car friends who must have been listening because they sent the snow mounds from 2015. I worked at a car dealership at that time. Imagine cleaning cars. 300 cars.
I don't want to imagine.
Yeah.
Sounds
so
awful.
We had a snow mound so big we had to bring in someone to get rid of the snow mound so we could put more snow in there. True story. And it was President's Day weekend and we made no money. And then I said, you know what? I'm leaving.
Probably a good choice.
You know what? 10 years later, things are doing all right. I'm still shoveling, though, even though I have a snowblower. Anyways, Don Sweeney played Jordan Binnington last night. It may have cost him. But what grade do you give? I shouldn't even say grade. Pass or fail. Was it a success? We'll get into that. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
think that that used to be a joke, and now it's become actually like serious in the real world
Yes.
type of thing.
Yes.
And so I'm not interested in what used to be a joke, but now some people actually thinks is like a serious thing.
You know me, no politics. But,
Don't do it.
But this is USA Canada. Like, we're not getting into politics. This is we do this at the Olympics. Like, this is a sporting thing. The booing of the national anthem. I just to get that out of the way. I would take the high road here. Me personally, you're a fan. You guys can do whatever you want. Todd Angeli is going to be doing the national anthem in Boston. He'll be doing both, I believe. Or I don't know if they do like if Sweden plays, do they sing the Swedish? I actually don't know. So I wonder who's doing that. But Todd is doing the. I talked to him about it. So my thing is, I think you should cheer everything. That's what I would do if I was a fan. Doesn't mean that if you don't do that, you bought the ticket. Yep. You have the ticket. You do what you want. I don't think we should be booing anyone's national anthem. That's my own take on it. But I believe you're going to the games?
I'm going to the game.
What do you think the reception will be?
I think there will definitely be boos. No doubt about it. Based on everything going on in the political climate, based on what happened in Canada in the first two games where the U.S. anthem was booed at both of those games, I personally will be cheering and applauding. Because, again, that's just the way that I want to approach it. You could say that that's holier than thou of me. It probably is. But that's what I plan on doing.
You can do whatever you want.
Right, exactly. And you know what? If the guy next to me plans on booing, I don't care. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of living in a free country. You can do what you want. You paid for the ticket. You can do what you want. I just don't boo countries that had a beach on D-Day too. That's my belief, but that's just me.
Like, I hated when people booed Adam Vinatieri when he came back.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I was yelling at people.
People booed Tom Brady. They did. So I'm sure people are going to boo Canada. And I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. And I'm the same way that I'm not going to lose any sleep over them booing us.
Is Don Sweeney's run from 2015 and now a success?
We judge success by championships in Boston, right? So, no. Has he been a good GM at times? Yeah, he has been. Have they won a cup? Nope. So, you're not a success. Doesn't mean you've been awful. Doesn't mean you've sucked, because he hasn't. But he hasn't delivered a cup.
I think the 2015 draft you can look at and say that was a fail. But putting together the 18 team, having the greatest team of all time, regular season, that wasn't on him. He gave up first round pick after first round pick to improve the team. I don't think a lot of things are on him. This summer, they needed a center and they needed a defenseman. They got the two best. He did it.
Right.
It didn't work out. And going forward here, man, that's where I'm going with it. With the trade deadline and everything happening with the Bruins and the future of the Bruins, should it be in Don Sweeney's hands?
No, it should not. It's been 10 years. It's time to move on. So I would also say, you went out and signed the best center and, one of the better defensemen on the market. So theoretically, you're addressing your needs. But because of I don't want to call it neglect is a little strong, but because of everything that led up to that moment, on Don Sweeney's watch, they hit an off season where they had two glaring needs. They had to address it. They were forced to go out and do something. But it happened in an off season where Elias Lindholm is not a number one center. He's just not. You paid him like a number one center, but that moment where you needed the number one center because you haven't drafted and you haven't developed, turns out the time where you needed the guy, he wasn't really available. So you paid somebody else. That is on Don Sweeney. It is. He did what we wanted him to do, which is sign a number one center and sign a bigger defenseman who could throw his weight around and, wouldn't be afraid to go to the box. Well, it turns out you got a guy who's probably a number two center and a guy who goes to the box way too much and is actually not very good.
Zadorov sucks.
He's not good.
I know he had a snipe the other night, but that guy sucks. And the problem is the only way you get rid of him is a first-round pick. It's like David Backus loaded. They had to just they're stuck with that guy. Smitty's in Woburn. Smitty!
Joe Murray, Matt McCarthy, how we doing, fellas?
Smitty.
Yo.
So as a hockey fan, I thought I woke up from a fever dream at the beginning of that game last night. What a game. So, but as the national anthems pertain, do you guys remember when, I want to say it was when Chara drilled Pacioretty?
Yep.
We went up to Montreal and they booed the U.S. national anthem, and then we came back
Cheered it.
and
We
they
cheered it.
cheered the Canadian national anthem. That's what I think's going to happen. If I was going, I'd be cheering both national anthems because it's for the game of hockey. This isn't about politics. We know that.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Hey, Smitty, can you give us a Millimoon update?
Oh, the Millimoon? I tried to take the video and I screwed it up, but it was delicious. I will be reenacting that a lot.
Can you tell Matt McCarthy and our listeners what a Millimoon is?
So the Millimoon is apparently a new 99's delicacy where you take a buffalo tender and you put it between two mozzarella moons and you eat it like a sandwich, and it's delicious.
And who's the one who created this?
Tyler Milliken?
The one and only one of one, the great Tyler Milliken.
How did he know? I didn't even have to tell him.
Well, I mean, Milla. It's either 1,000 or it's our guy Milliken.
Murray, as a P1, I know everything that goes on pretty much with every show.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I'm glad that, and I hope you let the powers that be know that the Millimoon.
Well, I'm trying.
Okay, you let them know, because I will. And if any time the 99 would like to send some mozzarella sticks, Gold Fever, and Buffalo, I will gladly do it live on air.
And they're right down the street.
I'll give it I know the guy in Waltham. We'll give it a shot.
Thanks, Vinny. Yes, the other night Tyler was on, and he was like, "I like to take two of the moons,"
Yep.
and I was like,
It's a Millimoon.
"So, but it's now like
It's a thing.
it's yeah."
Once it makes it on the menu, the Millimoon. Have you ever had the opportunity to have a sit down with Milliken at the 99?
No, but I want to.
I mean, it's like Henry Hill walking into the Copa. Doors just open for him.
So I
It's
told
like Joe walking into Kowloon's.
It's true.
y'all have been to Kowloon with me.
Sure have. It's a great time.
You've been to the new
Nine Dragons was great.
It was great.
Awesome. It was a good night.
I love the Brook. Those are my people. Granted, I have done a lot of business with the other casino that's now in Nashua, but it used to be the old Boston Billiard Club, which I miss. Now it's Gate City Casino. But the Brook, that Nine Dragons.
It's a good spot. Check it out.
Oh, it'd be a great day for Kowloon today.
Wouldn't it?
Oh.
Snowy, just kind of gross garbage out.
I want some, thinking about this, General Gao chicken.
Yep.
I would go with some sort of house fried rice. Maybe get a little bit of like shrimp in there.
There's shrimp fried rice.
Crab rangoons.
How about you want to talk about shrimp? They're fried shrimp.
Oh yeah,
Those are great.
The Poo Poo platter, Poo Poo Peninsula platter comes with beef teriyaki. That would be that'd be on the menu today with a rice and some sort of. Anyways,
No, keep going. Give this.
got to get Saugus wings and then
Of course.
get your own side of Saugus wing sauce.
Because it really is the sauce. It's
Yes.
about the sauce.
Sometimes I put my spear ribs in the Saugus wing sauce and then I put it in the air fryer. It's fantastic on a snow day like today. Oh, just get all the, especially if you're a plow guy. Oh, or Millimoons, whatever you want. We have everything on the menu today, Matt.
It's a free country. You can get whatever the hell you want. We've already established
It's a
this.
free country. And that's got nothing to do with politics.
No, it doesn't.
Just sports. Alex Bregman, Matt McCarthy, how's he feel about it?
Pretty damn good, Joe.
The introductory press conference was at 8:30, so nobody heard it. So we'll let you hear it coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
into the end zone, trying to keep the play alive. Falling down, he throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown!
WBZFM at HD Boston. 98.5, the Sports Hub. A Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Team USA off to the Four Nations final on Thursday. That's after beating Canada 3-1 last night. 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of that game. Canada, however, still controls their destiny to advance to the final. Finland beat Sweden in overtime yesterday, so Canada, Finland, and Sweden all have 2 points in group play. The NBA All-Star Game is set for today. Mac McClung won the dunk contest last night. Tyler Hero took home the crown in the three-point contest. And the Red Sox officially introduced Alex Bregman to the media this morning. Sean McAdam reporting that the Sox are still open to adding. Via trade talks, he mentions Dylan Cease from the Padres as a potential candidate for the Sox. Headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. With a 98% customer satisfaction rating and thousands of 5-star reviews, the choice is clear. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm Matt McCarthy in Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Joe Murray, or me, or somebody has you at noon at some point. I don't know.
To us, Boston pride runs deep.
I'm a Bostonian!
This is Boston's Home for Sports.
Bow, bow, bow!
98.5 The Sports Hub. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray Pre-Party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Alex was the perfect fit for what we were trying to accomplish. And in Alex, we're getting an elite defensive infielder. We're getting an offensive profile that fits our park almost perfectly. And perhaps most importantly, we're getting a champion, a winner, a leader, someone who will serve as a mentor to our emerging young group, and someone who will have a lasting impact on this organization. And finally, I think it's important to recognize and appreciate that free agency is the first time that a player has a chance to choose where he wants to play and where he wants to call home. And so it's not lost on us that amongst a sea of suitors, Alex and Reagan and Knox, to the extent he was involved in the decision, chose Boston. And so for that, we want to thank you for trusting us with the next chapter in your career. And with that, I will kick it over to you, Alex.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to be here. I've been fortunate enough to be in the playoffs the first 8 years of my career, and I plan on continuing to do that here. I'm a winning player. This is a winning organization. Those players are winning players. We have winning coaches here, and I plan on winning here.
All right, that was Alex Bregman being introduced today by Craig Breslow. It's Joe Murray. Matt McCarthy's here. Happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully you're digging out from the snow from last night. It was a big week. Matt, I know you had a chance to react to it. Good day for you to be on with Felger and Maz, Felgerless.
Because it wasn't a big enough day, Joe. That's what he said.
Oh, he wasn't here, right?
Yeah, he questioned whether it was a big enough day to be here. Because it's a Red Sox story, so it's not big enough.
Okay, ready for this?
Go for it.
I'm dating myself on this one, and there might be a better comp, but this Bregman signing I've compared to Manny Ramirez from way back when. I know, 2 different players, right? 2 different franchise, altering players. But when Manny came to Boston, they were serious about getting back to the playoffs. Ownership just took over. They were serious about getting there.
Yeah, and they were trying to sell the team, and they needed Manny to be obviously a piece of that. So, yeah. But you're right. It was a statement to the fans that the Red Sox mean business.
Mm-hmm. And then they had Manny. The team got sold. They got money. They started building it. They got free agents. Johnny Damon, I'm trying to just think, et cetera. I'm only going back to that because the only other comp I have is J.D. Martinez. It was a late signing. There was a guy who was looking for more money, but ended up always loved Boston, always wanted to play in Boston. Came and, was great. Awesome. Won a championship, right? This is a signing, to your point that you just mentioned about the fans. Like, I think they've lost a lot of fans. I think that what I mean by lost fans, this used to be one of the smartest baseball markets in the world. If something good was happening with another team and they were in town, fans would clap for it. They would acknowledge it. Just really intelligent baseball minds, right? There are people, we take calls all the time now of just people who are ignorant about the Red Sox, who don't follow along enough anymore, or don't realize that, they haven't spent, but they're trying to develop. There's no reason why the Red Sox should not be actively spending money year in and year out.
No doubt about it.
That's a fact.
No doubt.
But this signing here just proves that the talk about urgency or the talk about spending or anything, the player wanted to be here, but they wanted it at their terms. They won. Bregman chose Boston. Just want to be realistic. It is a one-year deal, realistically. 1 year, $40 million. And what's the reports now? Only 20 are against the books? I thought originally it was 30.
So, there's a ton of deferred money in this, right? So, he's going to get paid 10 years down the road. I think,
I don't
he gets
care.
a $5 million bonus. I don't care one bit about how we got here, Joe. Like, how we got here doesn't matter. Are the Boston Red Sox a better team than they were at the end of last year? Yes or no?
Yeah, they're better.
It's not even
They're
close.
much better.
It's not even close. Is Alex Bregman a perfect fit for what the Red Sox need? Did they need a right-handed hitter, Joe?
They did, and Craig Breslow laid it on thick today.
He sure did.
That's what Jeff whispered in our ears.
But you know what? Lay it on thick. When you land the player, you can lay it on thick. If I'm going to come in here, Joe, and criticize the Red Sox for years for not getting the player, not being serious enough, not being willing to spend the money, in whatever form spending the money comes, whether it's deferred money, whether it's short-term, whether it's long-term, if I'm going to criticize the Red Sox for years for not getting guys like Alex Bregman, am I then going to turn around and criticize the Red Sox for getting Alex Bregman because they waited out the market, they're deferring some of the money? I'm not going to do that. The Red Sox are better. It's the most important thing. And as a Red Sox fan, I get to look forward to this season. And by the way, there's reporting that the Red Sox might actually not be done. Sean McAdam reporting this morning that they've touched base with the Padres about Dylan Cease. Mm-hmm. Jared Carrabis, to my understanding.
I was going to say, Jared had it first.
Had it first. Jared had it first. And Jared is tied in. Trust me, I know how tied in Jared is. If Jared is saying that the Red Sox are in on Dylan Cease, they're in on Dylan Cease.
You know how it is in this town now. Everyone wants to be the first.
You have to be the first. And by the way, I don't fault him for that. He should be first. He had it first.
He should. By the way, I'm not a reporter, so therefore I don't want to report anything. That's my stance on it, is like, I'll use it as a take. Like, if I hear something, I'd be like, and what about Rafael Devers moving to DH? Is there something there? Because I don't have, we talk to people, but like, I'm not double sourcing. If I hear something, I'm not calling not calling the Padres today to be like, hey, is this Cease thing real? Like, I'm not a reporter. I don't want to be a reporter. So but it is funny in this town. Everyone's, I was first. I don't care.
Have you heard something on Devers? Is that what you're implying?
Have I heard something? Yeah. I don't know how.
Can I tell you what I've heard?
Yes.
And then maybe that's your second source, so then you can report it?
I'm not a reporter. Go ahead.
I know what Rafael Devers has said publicly, right? That he does not want to be a full-time DH. He's a third baseman. He wants to be a third baseman. He has acknowledged as much publicly. His agent has said the same thing. I have heard the same things privately, and I have heard the same things privately for years about Devers. He wants to be a third baseman. So is that going to be an issue here? It might. It really could. I think this is a major story moving forward. How willing is Rafael Devers to be your everyday DH? Because the Red Sox will be at their best when Rafael Devers is their everyday DH. He is not a third baseman. He cannot play the position consistently. We've seen it for years now. The Red Sox have defense problems. Devers is a part of those problems. He should be a DH. Is that what you've kind of heard on Devers? Am I now your second source on that, Joe?
Well, what I have heard is he was there every day. Then there was some chatter about a trade. Mm-hmm. Went back home.
So I noticed this the other day as
Cora
well.
mentioned it.
Cora talked about it. He was there. It was obvious based on Cora's comments that they informed Devers that something was happening, whether it was Bregman or Arenado, I don't know. All of a sudden, he goes home.
I'm not stirring a pot. It's just what happened.
Okay, no, I will. Because I know how Devers feels about wanting to play third base. He has been in Fort Myers. They go to him, and when the question was asked of Alex Cora the other day before they signed Bregman, is Devers your third baseman? He said, well, right now, he's our third baseman. Joe, you know what right now means, right? We all know what right now means. They had a conversation with Rafael Devers. They explained to him that they were going to get somebody, whether it was Arenado or Bregman, and he's going to be spending more time at DH, and Devers goes home. Or he goes to Miami to be with his family. He was in camp. He doesn't have to be there yet, technically. We are not at the report date, and Devers goes away for the weekend. Let's put 2 and 2 together. It's a mini protest.
So you're stirring it, and
Yeah,
I'm just
I'll stir
following.
it.
I'm following breadcrumbs. I don't have sources on it. The only source that I've heard is that I've heard that he wants, like you said, wants to be a third baseman. When he signed his long-term deal, there were discussions about him being a third baseman.
Yep.
It is interesting. He went away. Now he doesn't. In his right, he doesn't have to report.
Nope.
So I want to be consistent. I was like this with Tom Brady too. Like if Tom Brady wanted to take time off before camp, I was very consistent about that. Most of the guys are there. They're all showing up. Like I tried to make the take the other night that this is one of the first years where the Red Sox don't have a lot of issues going into camp, right? Like last year was Cora. Bayo, we'll see if he's ready to go. He's supposed to pitch today again. I think Cutter Crawford's supposed to pitch today. I mean, those guys are just delayed, right?
Yeah, Crawford has, he's got the knee problem. So we'll see.
Yeah. And if they have 6 starters, then let them figure it out, right? I'm just saying they don't have a lot of problems. But if one of their problems is Rafael Devers wanting to play third, but a better third baseman is there, the only thing I like is Bregman's willing to play second. Willing to play second.
Yes, because he's a winning player.
Cora has doubled down saying that he thinks he can be a Gold Glove second baseman.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think he's going to be pretty good. Like, I don't have any concerns about Bregman playing second base. I know he's basically never played it before. This guy's a really good fielder. He was a shortstop. There's no reason, if you played shortstop at a high level in college, there's no reason you can't play on the other side of the bag. And given he's played such a good third base for such a long time at the big league level, are there going to be some growing pains? Yeah, probably. But you have to learn how to make the turn, and it's a different angle thrown to first. Other than that, he can field a ground ball and throw the ball to first.
I love the Bregman signing. I don't think it's like a, guy making $40 million a year when Mookie makes 30. I know it's hard to look at. I know people are still stuck in the days of players making $20 million. It's a lot. It's just in baseball nowadays. It's what's a count against the luxury tax. That's really it. Or is it what do they call it now?
The competitive balance tax.
Thank you.
The CBT, Joe.
The CBT.
Get it right.
Wait, did they get under now with the deferred money?
No, they're over.
I thought there was $7 million over with $10 million deferred. If it's $20 million deferred, they're under.
All I'll tell you is last I heard, Joe, they were over. Based on the breakdowns I saw from Spear. And
we
Red
need
Sox
like a
payroll.
real because if they're really here's the deal, Matt. If they deferred the money to get still under the tax, Critillo had something yesterday on it. But think about it, if it was $10 million deferred, right, a year, so it would be $30 million. Mm-hmm. Well, there were $7 million over. If they're deferring $20 million, they're under.
So no, and Red Sox payroll has it here. They are at $248 million.
So
it is $7 million over the luxury tax. I don't care how you're paying the player. I don't care when you pay the player. All I know is this, Joe. Sam Kennedy said at the beginning of this offseason that they'd be willing to go into the luxury tax, and everybody laughed. They delivered. They delivered on their promise. They said they wanted to build a baseball team that was capable of winning 95 games and winning the division. I don't know if they're quite there yet, but they're a hell of a lot closer than they were. I think they're an 88 to 90 win team, which means you're making the playoffs, and baseball has become a get in the playoffs and see what happens type of sport. I think they're a good baseball team. I think they've constructed a quality roster. I think Breslow's had a really nice offseason. You should be happy as a Red Sox fan. I don't want to hear about the particulars of it, Joe. Results. What have been the results of this offseason? Are they better or worse?
Well, I think they can be better right now for a lot of different reasons.
Doesn't mean they're stopping, apparently.
Interesting on that one. Real quick, before we go to break, I want Devers to embrace the DH role. I want him to. During the break, I want to get into a little bit more details, DH versus third base for Devers, and just the future of the team. Because there's one reason why I wouldn't move Devers yet. Only one reason why. I'll get into that on the other side here. Matt McCarthy's here. We'll take more of your calls as well. We'll get to you next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports.
another guy that can hit. He's just a hitter.
He's a one-tool player.
Yeah, and I like the guy. You know, I don't want to diminish. I think he's going to have a solid year. He's a professional hitter. But he has adjusted to the game in America here. And, you know, even J.D. Martinez used to always talk about he'd like to play in the field a little bit just to give that edge. I'm not saying Devers can't do it. But let's talk about why they could be better. The service time thing I think is real when it comes to some of the young players. But if it's Devers, Bregman opening day, I'm in. Like, I have no problem with it.
You're talking Bregman at second, Devers at third.
Yeah. But if they make the decision that this, young kid can play second base and, they find Dylan Cease, what would that be? Like, if that trade was real, right? Is that Yoshida? Is he involved in it? Is it?
Yoshida's not worth anything. I mean, you're giving up something of value for Dylan Cease. I mean, you've got a million left-handed hitters in your farm system, so you're probably ideally. I'm hopefully giving up. I'm not giving up Campbell. I'm not giving up Anthony. Everybody else is available.
Okay, so like a Blaze Jordan type.
I mean, you're giving up more than that for Dylan Cease.
So you got to give up not a big three, but top five, top six prospect.
When's Cease's contract up? That's the most important thing.
Well, they just signed Pivetta. So I don't know if that's what's, if that was part of this, that they, all of a sudden these moves came down like a trickle effect. Dylan Cease contract.
So he's a free agent after this year.
So it's a rental, essentially.
Do you give up Marcelo Meyer for
no.
1 year of Dylan Cease?
No. They're not either. I actually think it would be a bad move if they did.
Where's Marcelo Meyer going to play?
I hope shortstop. That's what I hope.
Trevor Story is here for the next 3 years.
Well,
and Joe, you don't need to. I see that chuckle. I see that smile. You don't need to convince me that Trevor Story is here, but he's not really here because he can't stay on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I feel about Trevor Story. That guy's a bum.
He's a bum.
But you have Campbell coming up. You have Anthony coming up. How many left-handed hitters you can have? There's some questions about whether Meyer can stick at shortstop long term. Your team would be better in the short term. The Padres are not just going to give you Dylan Cease.
Would you trade Raffaello for him?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
That's probably the guy I would pump and dump.
So, I mean, does it involve somebody like Marcelo Meyer, or are the Padres interested enough in Wilyer Abreu, Cedon Rafaela?
That's where I think Meyer comes in, though.
So, right.
Maybe he moves to left. Maybe there's, somewhere else that he can
Point
play.
being, you still have a lot you can trade. You don't have any pitching you can trade, which is a problem. I mean, does Cutter Crawford go in a deal? Maybe. But I'm talking about blue-chip pitching prospects. You still have enough that you can trade, and you still have a surplus of left-handed hitters, whatever that looks like. Maybe you keep Meyer, but it's Abreu, and it's Miguel Blaze, and it's Cutter Crawford, and that's enough for the Padres. You're still giving up something, but you still have enough to give up to make a trade like this happen.
So here's why I wouldn't make the permanent move off Devers yet. It's Bregman's long-term future. Right? Unless Wilkerson's the guy. Right? Unless this kid can, out of camp, can just, he's the real deal.
You're talking Campbell?
I'm sorry. Why do I keep doing that? I did that recently, too.
Who is Wilkerson?
I don't know why. I've done that a couple of times now, huh? Remember I was saying one day, I've done that a couple of times. If Campbell's the guy, you move Bregman to third. If he's here long-term, that's your long-term piece,
Here's the beauty of the Bregman thing. We don't know. We don't know if Campbell is that guy. I love him. I saw him in Worcester last year, and
he's big, though, isn't he? Big boy.
He plays like a big player. And what I mean by that is, like, he is looking to do damage every time he goes up to the plate. I saw him, and Grissom was there too. Grissom was a very kind of defensive approach at the plate. Campbell is going up there looking to attack. The swing is kind of herky-jerky. It's violent, and he's looking to drive the ball into the gap every single time he's there. Like, the approach. It's the approach and obviously the athleticism that you see, and you're like, oh, this kid really has something. This could be special. I love Campbell, and I love Anthony. I'm a little down on Meyer. I have been for a long time. That's just a me thing. But here's the beauty of this, Joe. Whether Bregman's here for the next 1 year or 3 years, because Bregman can probably play second and he can play third, and because Devers ideally is a designated hitter, he does not block Campbell or Anthony or Meyer or any of these guys. If these guys can actually play and they can hack it at the big league level, and it's all a projection, right? I think Campbell's going to be a stud. I believe in him that much. I think Anthony's going to be a stud. I believe in him that much. I don't have the same level of belief in Meyer. That's just my opinion, right? Well, let's say I'm wrong about that. Let's say Meyer can play and Campbell can't. Bregman's not going to block Meyer. He's not going to block Campbell. He's not going to block Anthony. If those guys can play, there will be spaces for them. But in the short term, Bregman addresses their need for a right-handed hitter, a guy who can field at 2 infield positions, clutch, winner, all that stuff. He is a perfect fit.
Here's one take, and we'll get to your calls in a second here. But one of my takes on why, another reason why, is Rafael Devers, if you remember, and I have the clip, we don't have to play it, but one of the most embarrassing clips in Red Sox memory for when it comes to some of their players, Rafael Devers saying that everyone knows what the team needs to compete. Said that a year ago, remember? Mm-hmm. Flat out called out ownership for not spending money.
No doubt.
So now they've spent money. So is Devers going to be, hey, we did what you wanted, but we're going to ask you to maybe at times with your bad shoulders while you're rehabbing to DH at times.
Yep.
That needs to be an agreement. You want the team to get better and spend money. Like you said, we're doing that. You need to comply a little bit here too.
If Devers is going to call out ownership, rightfully so, we know what we need to compete. Shouldn't the team ask the same thing of him? Because to compete at the highest level, Joe, and by the way, this doesn't have to be opening day. You know, if Campbell doesn't make the team and he's not your opening day second baseman, your best roster is probably Bregman at second, Devers at third, Yoshida as your DH. But if Campbell makes the team, or when Campbell comes up, or Marcelo Meyer or whoever, by the end of the year, your best roster is going to be Alex Bregman at third base, Rafael Devers as your designated hitter. Is Devers going to be willing to do that? Is he going to be okay with that? Or is he going to go home and pout the way he did this weekend? Because that happened.
Well, you said he pouted, allegedly.
It's my take, Joe. Based on the information that I have, based on my knowledge of Rafael Devers wanting to play third base, and all of a sudden he's in camp, but he goes home before he has to officially report, and they just so happen to sign somebody who's eventually going to take his job at third base, whether it's opening day, July 4th, or Labor Day, whatever that is, he's eventually going to take Devers' job at third base this year, and we know Devers wants to play third base and feels strongly about that. Do you think it's unreasonable for me to say that Devers went home because he's upset and it's a bit of a mini protest? Is that unreasonable, Joe?
Nope. You're just going by reporting, right?
I don't have, put it this way. Nobody has told me that Devers went home and is pouting. Nobody said that to me. But I have been told he wants to play third base.
Yes.
And I've been told that for years.
From Breslow and Cora, and I believe his agent.
And he has said it. His agent has said it. I heard it years ago behind the scenes when they were first talking about moving Devers away from third base. What I was told was Devers wants to play third base, and they take that into consideration. He desperately wants to be a third baseman. So is it unreasonable for me, with all that information, to then say he's protesting and went home over the weekend? I know he was in camp. Cora told me. Now he's gone home for a bit before he has to officially report. And it just so happens that you sign somebody who's going to take his job in the field? Come on. Let's be adults about this. We know, Joe, we know what that is. We can all put 2 and 2 together on that.
We do. All right, guys. To you we go. Ralph and Cranston. Ralph.
Hey, guys. Good morning. You mentioned Manny coming here, but when Manny came here, you had left field open, his position. You also are pretty confident that he's leaving after 1 year. Well, he's going to have an amazing year for somebody to pay him more than the $40 million and 80 guaranteed over the next 2 years. And you made a great point, one of you, with Devers. If they made this move and did not talk to Devers and say, look, this is a move we're trying, because you don't know. I agree with you. I think he's going to become a malcontent if they try to move him off. Steve Buckley had an article. He said maybe they should bring in Ortiz and talk to him. But he's obviously made it clear to everyone, especially with the length of his contract, he wants to play third base. One thing I'll throw at you, too, I don't know why the Yankees didn't want him. He would have fit perfectly with the Yankees. Bregman is exactly what the Yankees
He didn't want to go there. Ralph, he didn't want to go there. He chose Boston.
Oh, he didn't want to go, Joe. I didn't know that.
Well, no, he didn't want to go there, and he turned down 7 years with Detroit.
Wow.
He wanted to go to Boston.
Bregman's a good player. I'm not doubting that in any way. Now, we don't know, can he play second base? We don't know that. He might ruin his arm trying to do it. And you made a great point with Mayer. If I was them, I don't trust Mayer. He's been hurt a lot. Where's he going to put? You got better prospects here. I don't want to touch my top two, but you could use him in a trade. Guys, I beat this to death for the last 2 months. If I was running this team, you'd be announcing Guerrero as my new addition, because he had some trade trips to trade over there. Toronto's having a hard time with him.
Hey, season ain't over.
He went out and said, I love Boston. I love Boston.
Thanks, Ralph. I appreciate you. Season ain't over yet. I think at some point, if Yoshida's not hitting or something happens there, I think they can trade him. I'm not giving up on Marcelo Mayer. By the way, I'm a big card guy. I like to collect cards. Him and Roman Anthony, big time.
Hold on to that Roman Anthony one, Joe. Mayer,
I'm just telling you, in the industry, there's high hopes for that kid. So if it isn't here in Boston, he goes somewhere else. I think he's going to be a player, dude.
There have been high hopes for Mayer ever since he was drafted.
And he's had injuries, I know.
No doubt about it. I don't know if he has enough power. Again, I've been down on Marcelo Mayer for a number of years. That's a me thing.
The Campbell thing I'm interested in. Because if you can get a young second baseman who can play right away and develop, play him, but they're weird about service time.
Joe, he's a right-handed hitter, too, which they need. Meyer's a left-handed hitter, like everybody else in the organization.
I hate comps, but, man, when I look at his body, I think Robinson Cano. Just size-wise, he's a big boy.
So
is he tall? I wonder how tall is that dude? 6'2", 6.
Who, Campbell?
Yeah, what is Campbell? Anytime I've ever seen him, he's been big. It's hard for me to see him as a second baseman. But
he's 6'3".
Wow.
He's a little bit more.
He's a big boy. I wonder how tall Robinson Cano was. That's what I mean when I think of speaking of former great, Cano was, I'll get it. But speaking of, we just had Cano was 6 foot. Wow. The caller mentioned Ortiz getting to Devers. One thing that was mentioned here by Alex Bregman, we'll have it for you on the other side, but there was a certain player that called him and said, hey, you should come here. I'll tell you who that is coming up in a minute here. Matt, let's take a few more calls. We got Justin and Lynn. Justin!
Hey, Joe, I have some thoughts on Rafael Devers. He needs to be a team player and play wherever they need him to play, and I don't want to hear about he went home. He's not in Fort Myers right now. He needs to play. He needs to be a leader on this team and help this team out wherever they need him.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. And hopefully your old man's not shoveling today. Shout out to Justin's old
Justin.
Man. Got me a nice Monty's gift card one day. You ever heard of Monty's Pizza?
Sure.
It's like a thin crust. Yep. Oh. Someone said I'm a food reporter. I am not. But if you want to pay me to be a food reporter, I will.
Joe, I think you're a food influencer.
Sure. I don't get paid for a dime for any influence.
Get this man some money over here.
This is me putting myself out there. I will gladly do a food show if you pay me. I've pitched it to certain networks, but they have to get sponsorships in order to pay me. So remember how I said I'm going to accept anything?
Yes.
I'm not doing anything unless you pay me.
Right.
Same thing. Sorry.
Got to get that money, Joe.
We do.
Everything in life comes down to money, right?
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
But this thing was, let's be honest, that's what this thing about, last night, 4 Nations.
Yeah.
People are mad. Money.
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 It's like in Christmas Vacation, the money.
People on that side of the border, mad. You know why? Money. People on this side of the border, mad. You know why? Money.
Daniel likes Matt McCarthy's take. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, so growing up, I idolized Mo Vaughn around here. That was my guy.
I was nicknamed Mojo.
Devers, yeah, Devers, he idolized and mocked his game after Adrian Beltre. I looked it up. Adrian Beltre played a total of 16 games at DH. You think Devers knows that? Of course he does. So, I mean, you could make the argument that Adrian Beltre was probably one of the greatest Red Sox third basemen of all time in a short period here. So Devers is not going to move over to DH, and if he does, I think he's going to hold out.
I don't think he's going to hold out. I just think he's going to be unhappy. $330 million. He has 330 million reasons to play.
You know what fixes that?
Money.
Winning. He's going to get paid, and if they win, he'll be right on board.
And Joe, in the end, he is getting paid. So you know what?
He's getting paid. That's why when you said you
Money.
brought up the money.
Money.
You have 300 reasons to show up, bro.
Money talks.
But winning. Chris Gasper on this station has always said, the best deodorant, winning. If the Red Sox are winning, and he's the DH, and he's getting paid, it's not that bad, right?
He'll be fine with it eventually. But he's not fine with it now. And they have to navigate that. And that's going to be a story here for spring training and maybe the early part of the year, depending on whether or not Campbell makes the team, or if Meyer makes the team, although that's probably not going to happen.
Going to sneak in a sports card question. Josh is in Connecticut.
Hey, guys, on our way to Mohegan Sun for the big card show. Besides, it sounds like Campbell and Roman Anthony. Who are the guys? Anyone under the radar, like single A, double A, that you'd be buying here, card-wise?
Cespedes.
Yep.
Is it Yoelen?
Yeah,
Cespedes?
Yoelen Cespedes.
Yep. And the other thing is, too, is they make these they make them by year, but I think they have Pedro Martinez autographs, David Ortiz autographs. Any of those legends that you can get, man, and they come out this year. Like Topps 1 just came out. If you can get some sort of Legends Topps 1, man, big money.
Huh.
But Roman Anthony, though, that's the guy I would get right now. And if you can get an on-card signature, that's where the money's at.
And you get what, first Bowman?
Yeah, his first Bowman's out. But if you can get that some sort of parallel or graded, it's going to be worth some dough.
Thank you.
You got it, bro. Thank you. Dude, remember baseball cards growing up?
They were the best.
It was called the junk wax era. They made so much of it that, like, the Mo Vaughn card that I had, the rookie card, I thought it was going to, 24 cents. It's worth.
A guy sent me a bunch of Mo Vaughn cards recently, which was like one of the nicest things a listener has done for me. He sent in 10 Mo Vaughn cards. It's like, I heard you say Mo was your favorite player. Here you go.
He was
Damn,
mine.
look at this.
I was nicknamed Mojo growing up because I batted lefty and I was right-handed and I would bat like Mo. And then Mojo.
Mo was the best. God, I love Mo.
You know who's tight with Mo?
Leroy.
That's right.
So
you were here, right?
Leroy had Mo Vaughn. It's my favorite moment in my 12 years at the station. Leroy had Mo Vaughn call in to wish me a Merry Christmas. That, you want to talk about kid Matt McCarthy, just like, oh my God, did Mo Vaughn just wish me a Merry Christmas? That was cool, man. Mo was the man.
Some guy goes, hey, Joe, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I'm using that one. Yep. That's right. That's right, damn it.
Joe, it's all about the money. Everything in life is all about the money.
Some guy called me a lib. I've never been called a lib in my life. Because I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm not a liberal, damn it. No one's ever called me a liberal ever. Can you believe that? Has anyone ever listened to The Night Show? We don't do politics. That triggered me. I'm nothing. I am nothing. I'm not a reporter. I'm not a food reviewer. And I don't do politics.
You're Mojo.
Yes.
That's who you are.
We are on. This is what is going on today. This is like the show's
everybody's
wild.
On edge, Joe.
The damn snow.
And everybody needs to calm down.
I've never been called. I've been called a lot of things in my life. Never been called that. Never. That's not political. I'm just not that.
No, Joe, it's the folks who are saying I'm not making this political who are always making it political. There's a difference between saying I'm not talking about politics and well, I'm not making this about politics. You know what I mean? Do you understand me on that?
Someone just said the term is apolitical, Joe. Everyone sucks.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
That is
AJ Thompson. Thank you,
perfect.
sir.
Yes, everybody sucks.
Well,
Can
on
we
that,
just calm down?
all right. Hey, the
love
Red
of God.
the Red Sox stuff's still on the table. I do want to mix in some other things though, because when I work with Matt, I try to get his idea on certain things. Jeff, I have a couple of takes for you as well that I would like to get in on. So we're here until 2:00 today. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Save big with up to $10,000 off MSRP on select.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Matt McCarthy's in the house.
Joe Murray's here.
I am here, even though I don't need to be here, and I don't need Matt to be here, and he doesn't need me to be here. So therefore, like, we're here. Is that how it started?
Pretty much, yeah. It's a lot to follow there.
So we didn't talk about this yet, but there's been a lot of three-peats that haven't happened, if you think about it. The Patriots had a chance to three-peat, but the Eagles said no.
Yep.
Well, Patriots lost to the Eagles and then won, so it could have been a three-peat.
What you're saying is, yes, had they
get
won
it.
that middle side, I understand.
You're picking up what I'm putting.
Yep.
The Chiefs tried to go for a three-peat, right? How'd that work out?
Not great. Not great for them. Great for me. Great for everybody else here. Not great for them.
So the last three-peats in American sports, the Packers did it in the NFL years ago. Years ago. The New York Yankees did it once, and the Islanders did it. Last night we got a three-peat.
Hold on. The Lakers did it.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the the
Bulls did it.
Well, here, real quick.
Yep.
This is the most recent three-peat. That's why I didn't mention all of them.
Okay.
Mac McClung won the slam dunk contest.
Oh, God, Joe. Were you watching that last night?
The only thing I saw, because it was during the end of the second period, I flipped over to TNT, and I watched Mac McClung dunk over the highest part of a car. And did a really cool dunk. Mac McClung of the G League, of the Orlando Magic, don't know the name of their team, sorry. Does, like, Stenberg have one of their hats, though?
Probably.
For those who don't know, two people at our station, Kevin Majore, jersey freak,
Yep.
Matt Stenberg, hat freak of any, like...
If it's
anything.
a weird minor league sports hat, he has
He's
it.
in. But yes, Mac McClung is now your three-peat at the slam dunk contest.
Congratulations. I guess.
This is what I was looking for.
Huh?
It's American history. This is American history.
That's American history.
I mean, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Mac McClung.
Vince Carter. And Mac McClung.
For real, though, being serious, Mac McClung has saved the slam dunk contest.
Has he?
No.
Is there anything to save with this thing?
I'm telling you, the thing's dead. This guy kept it alive.
Was there a guy last night who missed like 8 straight dunks or something like that?
See it,
I don't
probably.
see because I was watching the real competition last night, which was the hockey game.
Yes.
And trust me, I wasn't flipping over for 1 second. The way that thing started, not happening.
I love how you got triggered when you were like, "Oh, what about the Bulls and the Lakers?" No. The most recent three-peat.
Mac McClung. No, thank you, Joe. I'm very, very excited about it.
Just wanted to inform you on that.
No,
Also,
thank you. I feel very informed.
Yes. Also,
much more knowledgeable now.
There was a skills competition, and the Spurs were a part of it. It was Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. Did you see this?
Nope.
Okay.
Joe,
love
let me
this.
tell you, if your question is, hey, Matt, did you see anything associated with NBA All-Star Saturday Night presented by whatever? My answer is no. A, did I see it? No. B, do I care? No, but humor me. Go for it.
So, the skills competition is you throw the balls through like some, bounce, try to hit nets and stuff. You got to take a few shots too. Well, supposedly the idea was from Victor Wembanyama. I think it was Chris Paul. Because what other... that is a bad influence thing. What happened was, basically, they did all the drills, but when it came to shooting, they just threw the ball off the... So instead of shooting the ball, they just went like this to fake it, and they had the fastest time. Because it's a timed activity. So someone came up with the brilliant idea to just not shoot the shots, just take them off the ball rack and finish the activity. Well, they finished in 47 seconds. They were the fastest team.
So they gamed it. You're not required to hit the shot. You just need to take the ball off the rack.
I never looked at the actual rules.
Oh, you didn't look at the actual rules for the NBA skill competition?
I didn't know the rules, Matt.
Shame on you, Joe.
They got ejected. They got eliminated.
Good.
And disqualified.
Good. We need that type of stuff here.
When it came out after, they go, whose idea was it? Victor Wembanyama took the blame for it. I'm not buying that. Something doesn't smell right there to me.
Rat there.
Oh, Victor Wembanyama is like this French player who's 7'4" or whatever. He's Porzingis at 19 who can like dribble and everything. He's like the biggest guy in the world. You want to buy cards? Buy Victor Wembanyama cards. Yes, so they basically got disqualified. So here we are watching this USA-Canada masterpiece.
I mean, just bludgeoning each other. That hit McAvoy laid on McDavid last night. I mean, how about the guy who got launched into the boards?
Yes.
I mean, I watched Connor McDavid. I watched a human being fly last night. I watched him defy gravity as Charlie McAvoy took his skates off. And here in the NBA competition, you're saying they're required to shoot, and instead they just pick up the basketball and push it to the side? I think I made a good decision.
I think you did too. Hey, by the way, I didn't see who won the 3-point contest, but you informed me who did.
Tyler Hero, apparently.
Okay.
Listen, I heard Alex Barth say it coming in, so I put it in my headlines. Did I fact check it, Joe? No. Joe, am I a reporter?
So, like, Buddy Hield could have won, but we wouldn't know.
Couldn't tell you.
Peyton Pritchard not there.
But Joe, you could have told me he was there, and I'd believe you.
So tonight's the All-Star game. It's Team Chuck, Team Kenny. Do you see where I'm going with all this, right? The NBA got beat on Christmas Day and got beat this weekend by the NHL. And I don't want to do what's the best All-Star game, but like the NBA's taking a hit right now. The ratings are down. They ask guys like, "Hey, do you agree with like you know who's real big on this is Draymond Green? Hey, what would you do to make the All-Star game better?" He goes, "Not have one."
Yes. There's nothing you can, if you're manufacturing guys caring, that doesn't work. And that's the problem with All-Star games, right? So the NHL All-Star game is no good too, right? But you're getting this Four Nations tournament where these guys care. They care about putting on the sweater of their country. There's a heightened environment right now. We all know it. And as a result, it leads to the players wanted to have this. They wanted to have this tournament. They want to go to the Olympics. You can't generate that. You can't create that. And as a result, Joe, as a sports fan, you got rewarded last night for being a sports fan.
I did.
You tune into that. It's like, you know what? Thank you. I deserve this as a sports fan. You're going to tune over to the NBA All-Star Weekend and see that crap?
You got the best hockey players in the world, USA Canada versus Mac McClung. And literally Wemby cheating. That's why I think it was Chris Paul's idea. But Wemby's taking the heat on this one. Brilliant idea, though. Like, who would know the rules? Right? Who would know the rules? It's the NBA. As much as I think the Celtics are going back to back, this is a problem. You're getting beat by NHL. You're getting beat by the NHL, dude.
The competition's better. Let's call it what it is, Joe. The NBA, what's more interesting? Talking about the drama of the NBA or the actual product of the NBA? And I suppose you could apply that to any sport, right? The drama, and that's why we do what we do.
There's 4 competitive teams in the NBA. Maybe 5.
It's not a competitive enough product.
You're right.
And that's why the ratings are down. Random Thursday night, regular season NBA game. Who's playing?
Utah and Portland.
Okay, but who's playing in that game? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You get a ticket. You go to watch the Celtics. You go to watch whoever. Best player's going to play? Are they?
Not always. Anyways, wanted to just see how you felt about that.
Oh, I mean, how could you look at those two products last night, Joe? And I mean, they're not on the same planet. That hockey game compared to, frankly, anything the NBA does. Let's call it what it is. The NBA is about the trades, the drama. It's about the Luka thing, right? The Luka thing is compelling. It's dramatic. It's crazy. The actual product on the court, though, it's not good enough.
Can I tell you this? So they asked Jaylen Brown, "Hey, do you know the new concept of the NBA?" And he goes, "I don't even know what I'm doing here." Like, by the way, he was tweeting out some weird things at 3 a.m. last night. Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, we've all been there. I don't know what they were, Joe, but I'm just going to say, haven't we all had a weird 3 a.m. tweet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stay off the internet, I've heard before.
It's good advice.
I've heard that, to stay off the internet. By the way, the NBA could do a Four Nations.
But would people care the way that they did?
We did this summer.
So
that game was great. France versus
I'm all for
USA.
it. I'm all for
and
it.
it had a great ending with Steph Curry becoming the best player. In that tournament.
And here's this. I mean, I doubted whether the Four Nations would be this. I mean, I said, all right, how much do you really care about it? International hockey is usually pretty good, but I hadn't seen this before. And then I tuned in Wednesday night, and I said, oh, no, this is going to be good. And then you tune in last night, and it exceeds. I knew it was going to be good. I was fired up all day for the game. And then you get that. You get rewarded as a sports fan. That's a hard thing to match. That was a special thing last night. It was. You don't get that
The
too
NBA
often.
could do it. Maybe Serbia and France would be on their own. I don't know. But maybe if it was constructed of NBA players, it'd be hard to do.
USA versus Europe.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. USA versus Europe.
In.
I'm in on that.
By the way,
Ryder Cup stuff? Ryder Cup style? In.
All right. We talked it out. We're
got
late.
there.
We're late, but you know what? It's Sunday. You're probably woke up late because you woke up to 7 inches of snow. But thanks to Eric, my snowblower friend, got me out of my driveway today. Thank you, sir. Matt pays for luxury.
I do. I'm fancy.
And Jeff, well, he's got that work truck with the snowblower, and man, that thing was shaved right down to the pavement. So we're all here. We're with you till 2 o'clock today here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
who I love, but he thought it sucked. Now, I will say this. I would never call myself a musician, but I used to play music. I failed
What'd you
it.
play?
I sing, but I could play the guitar a little bit.
You sing?
I can play everything.
Well, I mean, this actually makes sense because we do Joe Sings the Summer Hits.
Oh, I was singing my Valentine's Day, dude. I was belting. By the way, just while I have you for a second here, not to get off a tangent here, but what would be like your deep cut? Like if you know, I always use the term when in Jerry Maguire when he's happy and he starts singing Free Fallin', you know, he's looking for something to jam out to. Does Matt McCarthy have like a song? I'll go sad. There's like a
million of them.
But what's the one though? Like what's the one when you're in the car, you want to get it all out, man, and move on?
Well, I guess what's going on in my life because I feel like I have so many different options for that.
But
what, we're talking like a love issue type of thing?
I feel like I always have one. Like
I've got a million. Of them.
So
I embrace, Joe, I embrace the sadness. I embrace the human feelings. I actually kind of like feeling sad sometimes. Does that make me emo? Is that
no. Emo would be like, the worst is over, you know? Or
like My Chemical
Where are
Romance?
you?
Blink 182? You're saying I miss you as emo.
Yeah.
Because, I've definitely we've all been in that place, right? I mean, I've definitely had a phase in my life where I miss you really spoke to me.
Do you have emo voice at all, you?
I don't know.
Say it ain't so, I will not go. Like
turn the lights off, carry me. But
you don't have emo voice though. You ever like drop? You know.
I mean, could I do like when I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. But I feel like
that's emo.
That's emo.
That's emo.
But was that emo voice or is that just emo band?
You know what? Accepted. Jeff, do you accept his emo voice?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was
I
great.
did too.
That was good.
Emo voice is real. Come on. Like it's real.
But I guess I don't really know that it's like
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh, it's a thing, bro.
I don't know that
Listen,
did I just do it, apparently?
When the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame comes up, who do you think's the first emo band to get in? I'm going to say it's Chris Carrabba, Dashboard Confessional.
I just don't know enough. This is not, and believe it or not, it's not an area that I claim to have real expertise in.
So I don't either. One of my best friends was in a emo pop punk band growing up. So like I hung out with Brand New. They were this band.
Yeah.
I didn't, nobody at the time. I didn't know who Jesse Lacey was. Like I smoked a joint with him. And so I realized, hey, you're cool, man. And then Brand New became huge, and now he's canceled. But whatever, it doesn't matter. I knew him. My buddy sang with the Starting Line one night, and they were like this. Hey, emo people know all the bands.
Yes,
I don't.
I'm not there.
Yes, and you and I don't. We stick out at these shows. By the way,
yes,
we're too big. Like who are those guys?
Trust me, Joe. That is my life experience. Just standing out in a crowd. But what's the difference between? Because I like emo. Apparently, what's the difference between emo and pop punk, Jeff? I feel like you're the guy.
I think Blink 182 is the difference.
But I would consider Blink 182 just like punk.
Yes. Okay. All right. Like the class. Like I
like
think
Green Day's pop punk. They're not emo.
Yes.
Right.
Like but Ramones would be punk rock, right?
Punk.
Like.
But My Chemical Romance is emo. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Black
Finch,
Parade.
Used, AFI.
Yes.
All those.
Yes. Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
Is that emo?
They're the worst.
And then there's Screamo, which
I'm
is
not
like
into Screamo.
emo. That band I don't like. The guy.
Yeah, Finch. I love you and I miss you and I can't go on.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
There you go. That.
I love Finch though.
I almost got in a fight with a guitarist one night at the Avalon.
Joe, who have you not almost gotten in a fight with? Did I hear? And I vaguely remember this story. Were you and your buddies the people who got into the fight with Tim Hudson before Game 4 in 2003?
It was not me personal.
Okay, but it was one of your hooligan
someone that
buddies
I knew.
from Hyde Park?
Yes, it was Rozzy kid.
Rozzy. Okay, well, I mean, there's a difference. Hyde Park, Rozzy. I'm sorry.
Shout out to the Boston Billiard Club in Boston, which no longer exists. I think it's like a yard house now. I think that's what
it's right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
We were there, and then we went to another establishment. We saw them there. Barry Zito I was a big Barry Zito fan.
Big curveball. Barry Zito.
Big boy. We went to another place, and that's where the fight happened. but we were chirping them at the billiard club. We were chirping them hard, and then they went somewhere else. We ended up there. I was not. I did not follow them.
The story's better.
I'm actually going to Google it. I just want to be clear on it because it was not me.
Why was the night a little hazy for you, Joe?
It was definitely. It was in my 20s, and it was like the heyday of Red Sox. Come on now, you didn't pound beers and watch the Red Sox and talk smack to the other team all the time.
Well, I was
Tim
like
Hudson
13
Boston
years old
fight
at this point. So,
but I just want to be clear that when my friends were there, it started at Boston Billiard Club. So it was not. I think the fight happened somewhere else, but we did get into it. We were chirping them at Boston Billiard Club.
Hold on, Joe. Can I have the story right here.
Please,
can I present the facts?
Yes.
Tim Hudson was involved in a minor confrontation at a Boston bar Friday night, but the Oakland Athletics said it didn't cause the injury that limited him to one inning in his start 2 days later. A's manager Ken Maka told ESPN on Monday that Hudson and left-hander Barry Zito were signing autographs at the bar. On the night before Game 3 of Oakland's Division 6.
Not true. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ken Maka. Go ahead. Now we're working in reports now, right?
Yes.
Again, not a reporter.
October 6, 2003, ESPN.com News Services. The players and Hudson's brother had to be separated from several Red Sox fans after a confrontation, but Hudson told Maka no punches were thrown. Hudson wasn't on the field before Game 5 Monday night. Players usually weren't available to reporters before playoff games. I think it's a non-issue. He's sitting there. He's amazed at what this thing has been blown out to be. It is a non-issue.
Bull.
Wild brawl at Q. It was a.
So that's what happened. We were at Billiards Club. We went to Faneuil Hall. We went to the Purple Shamrock. Bell in Hand was next to it. That's where I remember the altercation in that area. Because we started at Fenway playing, and then we went to Faneuil Hall. They were not signing autographs. By the way, if I recall, do you remember when Johnny Damon ran into the outfield? Him and Damian Jackson.
Yeah.
It was that night.
Collided.
It was that night. Or I just remember in my head. That's why we were chirping. We were chirping Oakland.
That happened in Game 2, right?
Yeah.
So it had happened.
It happened so many years. Like I'm trying to I don't remember anything from my 20s at all, except for emo music. This is how this started, right? This went from.
It's not how it's going to finish, but it's how it's going to start.
Again, I was not there. I just remember we were at Boston Billiard Club and we were chirping Tim Hudson. And we went to Faneuil Hall. One of my buddies said that they got into a scrape with Tim Hudson. I was in Faneuil Hall. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't see anything. I can't report it. I just know that it was dudes that I know were there and we were in Faneuil Hall. Then when I heard about it all night long, because I don't know, I feel like we ended up at Doyle's. I don't know why, but anyways, the next day Tim Hudson pitched, and all we heard about was my buddy being like, "We got him last night." Blah.
Oh, you
then
got him.
He went an inning and was out, and then he hurt his hand. Right? There was definitely punches thrown, like no doubt about it. So when Ken Maka tells you that the injury that he had, bull. Now, I'm not a reporter. Somebody just said, "Make emo great again."
Tim Hudson.
How did this start again? What were we talking about?
You had me singing My Chemical Romance.
No, what was the question you asked me, though? I feel like there was a question. Oh, what did I think of the Nirvana?
Yes.
Post Malone?
Yes, that's how we got here. Of course, Joe. How we got here from there. How could you not make that connection?
I liked it, but if I'm being critical of it, he was not tuned at all. Was it a great version of, Smells Like Teen Spirit? No, but I do think that post Nirvana is the way that it was introduced as, from Adam Sandler, by the way. Tonight is the 50th anniversary show, so it's on at 8 o'clock tonight, NBC. I think you can watch it on Peacock, but I don't pay for that anymore. I have a special box now that I get all my entertainment from.
I got to talk to you about this. Yeah.
Kidding. Kidding. I don't have a special box. Wink. Anyways, it's on tonight, 8 o'clock, NBC.
I'm looking forward to it.
I want to see Cher at 78. If I could turn back time. Man, she's... No. Emo was all that crap. There
was some good stuff in there, and there was some very much not so good stuff.
I thought Dashboard Confessional was great. Fallout Boy, they're emo. Would Jimmy Eat World, would you consider them emo?
I think so, right? But like the middle, is that really? It's more pop punk.
That's definitely. I don't even know if I would consider that pop punk though.
What about Paramore?
Yeah, that's pop punk.
Definitely. Pop
okay,
punk.
just wanted to just
Or just pop eventually by like their third album.
Okay.
Tim Hudson, 1 inning pitched. ALDS Game 4, thanks to Joe Murray.
I was, again...
And your boys.
It was them, not me. I know of it. By the way, this got brought up one night because I said it in passing. The dudes who were there hit me up about it and were like, yeah, dude, totally happened. Punch. He definitely hurt his hand. We got him.
Hey, but Ken Maka said they were signing autographs at the bar.
I'm telling you, they were not. We were chirping their asses at Boston Billiard Club. And I remember Johnny Damon had to go in an ambulance that night. I just remember the whole thing happening. Damon was in an ambulance. Was this 03?
03.
Okay, because this was a very tense time as a Red Sox fan. This was like, I mean, there was Game 7, obviously, Yankees, but the Oakland was good. I think they had Zito, Hudson, Mulder.
Yep. Tejada. Was
Isringhausen their closer? I can't even remember now.
He had been, and then he went to St. Louis.
But they were good.
They were really good.
They were good. And this was rivalry time. Like, this was a big boy. This was big boys.
It was sports, Joe. Didn't you get that last night? That was sports.
It was East Coast, West Coast.
It was also pre-04, so tensions were already
They were
high.
definitely high. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, Tim Hudson threw down that night. And he sucked the next day. And he got his ass. Oh, sorry. He got chewed. He got booed out of the stadium. How about that? Whew. We got to go to break. I'm Joe Murray here at the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Boston EVC is the only company.
Say it like you mean it.
Speaking of this got brought up the other night, but when I send Skaz rundowns for the show, there's now a AI version, and it says, Joe wants to talk about the Red Sox signing of Bregman, real AI version. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, wow, I couldn't have wrote it any better than that. But the other night it's kind of like Joe sent a bunch of sad songs on this Valentine's Day that should really get people in the mood or something like that, And I was just like, whoa, this AI thing. I am authentic. There is nothing artificial about this, Matt.
That's what makes you you.
I know. And people have commented on your emo voice.
Oh, I'm sure everybody was thrilled with it.
As we heard brand new coming back from break, so thank you, Jeff. Matt McCarthy's emo voice sounds like John Mulaney.
I'll take it, man. Listen, of all the things you could say about me, that feels like a compliment.
I give you props for trying there.
I don't even know what emo voice is. I just attempted something. I mean, can I get Black Parade and see if I got close?
Oh, by the way, when it comes to, I still want to know your song, but I had 3 of them. One was Goo Goo Dolls' Iris.
Great song.
That one's Don't Want the World to See Me, Another one is Third Eye Blinds. How's It Gonna Be?
How's It Gonna Be?
That's a deep. You want to get deep?
Yeah.
And then the one that I always go back to, it's an old legendary song. I can't remember if it was Genesis or Phil Collins. I can't remember now.
In Your Eyes?
Against All Odds. How can I just let you walk away? Let you leave without a dream. So we played the whole song. I sang the whole entire song.
The Postal Service does a cover of that, which is phenomenal.
Are they an emo band?
Oh yeah.
What all emo bands do? They did who did In the Air of the Night?
Non-Point.
Non-Point. I actually kind of like that one. What did Peter Gabriel there? Not Peter Gabriel.
Phil Collins.
That one was done.
Phil Collins.
No. Who's Karate Kid song?
Oh, Peter Cetera.
Yeah, but who did that? Somebody did that. The band you don't like that you vomited about earlier.
Oh, Newfound Glory.
Yeah, they did that. They did the your knight in shining armor from a long time ago. And then Alien Ant Farm did Smooth Criminal.
Jackson, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's all they did. So now that I think about the whole era, they ripped everybody off. They ripped them all.
Imitation is the best form of flattery, Joe.
The rap genre did that too,
Who?
Everybody sampled everything back in the 90s.
Talking about
Puff Daddy. I mean, geez.
Who? I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry.
We're not allowed to say
who?
that name.
He's got some issues going on right now. I don't know if you've heard. We've been following the news.
Okay, Matt, you'll appreciate this. I'm very sorry. I know there's a lot going on. Bregman, USA. Okay, this is important. I had this discussion. I'm going to do it with you because you'll tolerate it and you're smart. So,
well, I might tolerate it, Joe.
I did. Someone asked me on their podcast, and I went on Topher, if anyone knows him, and we did a Mount Rushmore of a-holes. But it was mostly people from my childhood.
How many Mount Rushmores can we have of that? How much land we got out here?
So
how many mountains can we blow up?
This is only one mountain.
We got
only one
a-holes from your childhood.
It was
like sports a-holes,
influential a-holes from my childhood.
We going like family members? What are we doing here?
I had Bill Cosby, Vince McMahon, Diddy. They're all canceled.
I mean,
these were the biggest influences of my life.
Yes, yeah. America's dad.
They're all a-holes.
Not
the
great.
biggest influences ever of my time. Again, Mo Vaughn, great. Well, besides the old, strip club incident.
Listen, that was heartbreaking. I will never forget opening up my dad's cover of the Boston Globe and seeing Mo there in court after flipping his truck. That was a real life lesson. Honestly, it's kind of my villain origin story, Joe. It's like, oh, the world is not what I thought it was. But just because you make a mistake doesn't make you an a-hole.
Well, a lot of my influences were all a-holes.
Now, I would say the people that you just listed, there is a difference between making a mistake and doing that. Going that far. So, yeah, honestly, Mount Rushmore of a-holes, probably up there.
So I had, again, biggest influences of my lifetime. Bill Cosby. Bing. Boom. Vince McMahon. Diddy.
Yeah.
I loved Biggie. I don't even know if I can listen to tell your friends to get with my friends and we can be friends. I don't even know if we can do that anymore. Hulk Hogan. Like, I can't, like, they're all just, you're right. There's not enough land. There's not enough monuments.
We don't have enough hills. We don't have enough granite, Joe.
Jeez. This was a show at one point. This was a show.
And it still is until 2 o'clock.
We've gone into fighting Tim Hudson at Faneuil Hall.
Where are you on the a-hole list if you're getting into a fight with an opposing pitcher? Like you, scrappy Joe Murray showing up from Hyde Park, fighting multi-million-dollar a year Tim Hudson.
You know it's coming beforehand. There's a foreshadowing situation. You know it's coming. The second now you drop the bat and you throw your helmet. It's fists galore. Everyone else stay out of it.
Like last night.
I'd be looking at all of them, especially the catcher. I'd be like, you stay out of this. And you over there at first base, stay out of this.
The fighting is good. It's entertaining. Watch that game last night.
People on the chat are definitely throwing in their biggest a-holes now. How do we get back on track here?
Do we?
Let's Jake's in the truck. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Joe, what would Red Sox have to give up to get Dylan Cease? Because Red Sox are not get on the division. So.
Thanks, Jake. What do they have to give up, Matt?
So he's a free agent after this year. So the price is a little bit less, but why would the Padres move on from him for a team that's trying to compete unless you're giving up, something of significance? To me, there are two paths here. One, you're giving up one of your premier prospects, and that is what you're building the deal around. To me, it would be Marcelo Meyer, and you're not giving up much beyond Marcelo Meyer. Or are you giving up a collection of more established big league players? Is this Wilyer Abreu plus Cutter Crawford plus a couple prospects in between? And you're then taking away from your big league club to add a big league pitcher? Or are you going down to the minor leagues and giving up one of the few guys that you have who is really valuable? And let's just use Marcelo Meyer for this example. Either way, to me, Joe, if you're giving up left-handed hitters and it's not Roman Anthony, I'm into it. Or, let me throw this out there. They've been trying to trade Casas all offseason. What if Devers is going to first base and they say we can trade Casas for Dylan Cease?
So this new documentary that's coming out, did you see the trailer?
Yep. It's all Tristan Casas.
I know a pump and dump when I see one.
Do you? Now.
This looks like a pump and dump situation. Pump and dump for those that are
Joe Murray,
laughing.
Expert pump and dump guy.
That's right. You pump them up,
you
dump them. I can see it happening with Casas. I still think he can hit 30 home runs.
So I do too, but he's a pain in the ass and they don't want to deal with him.
Ooh, this is a good one. Hypothetical here. Crochet, Cease.
Yes.
You get both. You're paying both. You got one of them. You trade for Cease? There's got to be some sort of extension, right?
He's a Boris guy. He's not going to want to. So you're trading for him because you want to compete this year and you see what happens. I don't think a Scott Boras client this close to free agency is going to sign an extension. So now that is going to diminish the return that the Padres are going to get from him, but you're not going to get him for a song. You're going to have to give up something, right? And you might say, McCarthy, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't trade Marcelo Meyer for Dylan Cease straight up. Okay, would you trade Wilyer Abreu and Cutter Crawford for him? Would you trade Tristan Casas for? Like, these are the conversations. The Red Sox have a million different paths if they were actually interested to get this guy, because they've got a million left-handed hitters and they don't have spaces for them all. So pick the one you want, pick the one you don't want, and get something that you can never have enough pitching. So I would say you don't have, but you can never have enough pitching. I'm into the idea. Okay. How could you not be into the idea? Even if it's just for 1 year, Joe. Because the Red Sox need to send the message, and by the way, they have sent the message, that they're actually interested in winning baseball games.
It's funny you say that, because I've seen a lot of just a write-up that the Red Sox are back, right? And I did crush the urgency quote. I didn't like that one. You know, very smart guy trying to tell us about urgency. My only thing is this. Are they back? They made one move. Does the move tell you that they're serious about spending money, or do they just do it because they got the right contract?
They have not proven that they're serious about spending money long term. They did this on their terms, and good for them for getting it done on their terms. But have they signed somebody to a 7-year contract extension? They haven't done that. You know, like a big money, not a Brian Bayo, $55 million, not a Cedon Rafaela, $50 million, whatever that was. No, like a big, here's $250 million over the next 8 years. They haven't done that with an outside player.
All right. We got Mark's in Medford. Hey, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Joe. What's up, pal?
Morning.
So 2 things last night. First off, that was the best freaking 9 seconds of hockey I've seen in 20 years last night. Okay? But if you're an owner of those guys, you got to say, what the you know what? Please be careful. This really doesn't mean anything. We don't need somebody breaking a hand on a helmet. And number 2, as far as the national anthem crap is going, when this series comes to Boston tomorrow, I think every fan in the Garden should stand up and sing both the anthems. And let's show Canada what class and respect is all about.
Thanks, Mark. You're a fan. You can do whatever you want. I stand by that.
Yep, me too.
I would probably cheer both.
That will be my approach. I will be in the building on Thursday. That will be my approach.
Boston's known for this, right? After tragic events, everybody sings along. Boston fans, I know that some of you are out of touch recent. Like, you know, when I say the word ignorant, you're just out of touch. Specifically with the baseball team. But we get callers who don't even know who some of the guys are. You know, oh, they should do this. It's like, dude, that guy's been gone for 3 years. What are you talking about? Milliken, did you hear him the other day go at it with some guy? He didn't even know
he
didn't know who Jaron Duran was.
Well, I think that he didn't care who Jaron Duran was. But yes.
Do people care who Jaron Duran is?
No, and that's been a problem.
I question his leadership. I got into some guy the other night. I don't think he's a leader.
No, he's definitely not a leader.
This is why I think the Bregman move's huge.
So they put Bregman's locker next to Campbell, Meyer, and Anthony.
Good.
You know why? Because Bregman's basically the only guy who's won. I mean, Devers was one, but he was in 2018, and he wasn't a huge part of that team.
If anybody see, like, you know how, like, the Red Sox were so relatable back in the day, like, you know, the beards and the guys. I never heard Garrett Crochet speak before. He sounds pretty good. Looking at Roman Anthony, holy smokes, that kid can't be that age, right?
I know, he's 20.
He can't, he doesn't, he looks like my cousin Vinny. You know what I'm saying? No, you've seen him, right?
No, who was the kid, the Danny Almonte in the Little League world? Like, can somebody check the birth certificate here?
No, he looks like, I'm using the term, but he's huge, and he looks old.
How about Greg Oden? Remember him?
Yeah, Greg Oden. Oh, yeah, he's
18 going on about 80.
Yeah, Roman. I'm trying to use a Sopranos. Let me find a Sopranos reference now.
Oh, good.
He looks like he's 20 years old, and there's no shot. I'm telling you, he looks like what's the April kid that dated Meadow?
Oh, Jackie Jr.
He looks like Jackie April. Like, he looks like him. A little taller.
The older Jackie.
Not the old one, the little young one.
Jackie Jr.
Yeah, who dated Meadow. Yes. Yeah.
Didn't end so well.
Kind of looks
Jackie
like
Jr.
him.
Yeah.
He hang out with the wrong crew.
He was.
Plus, you don't get
Tony
with the boss's daughter.
You don't. Bad move.
Like, you don't poop where you eat. You don't poop.
You don't do
where
that.
You eat. Yes.
Yeah. It's good advice.
A lot of poop talk this week. See Jimmy Butler?
I did.
Poop or not poop?
Poop.
Poop. It was yellow poop.
We've all been there. Joe.
I have a quick question for you.
We've been on antibiotics before, right? You know?
Yes. quick one, because I said, was Don Sweeney a success in Boston? 10 years. Was Jimmy Butler a success in Miami?
They judge by championships down there too, right?
Went twice.
Pat Riley? Yeah, it's about winning.
Beat the Celtics twice to go. Could have won 3 times.
It's about winning.
So was he a success? I think he was.
Was he a failure? Maybe that's a better way to put it. But by their standards, if their standards in a Pat Riley organization, their standards should be winning, right?
Yeah.
That's how I judge things, but this is Boston. We judge things by winning. Did he win?
Nope. Went twice, though. Couldn't
There
win.
you go. There's your answer.
That definitely, if anybody hasn't looked at that video yet, he used to wear the black trousers when he was with the Miami Heat. Now that he's with the Golden State Warriors, they're white. So there was some coloring on the back of his pants. Not only did he crap his pants late in the game, might have actually crapped it during the game. Take a quick break. Matt McCarthy's here. I'm Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Kick off the new year with $2,025 off any in-stock, used, or new 2025 Nissans at Matthews Nissan. That's an additional discount off MSRP. Plus, you still get all applicable rebates. Only at Matthews Nissan of Wellesley on Route 9. VIN SC 785057.
Roofing? Mario's. Siding? Mario's. Windows? Mario's. Skylights? Just call Mario's.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston, owner of Mario's Quality Roofing, Siding, Windows, and Skylights. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and
Father took me into the city to see a marching band.
Because I'm cheap, to be honest with you. And I'll give you 3 to 5 minutes of my time for a short $10 to $15.
You go up to 15?
I got tipped, actually. I get the old 20%. 20%. It's a pretty good tip.
Not bad.
So I'm a standard 20% guy. We don't have to get into this. But where I'm going with this is Matt McCarthy's not on Cameo.
You think I should be on Cameo?
I do. Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, I'll do anything for money. I like money. Money's good. Joe, theme of the show. Money talks.
If it don't make dollars, don't make sense.
Why is everybody mad? We got border issues. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Everybody's mad.
We can't find rock salt.
What does it come down to? Money.
People are saying go to pet stores now. No.
Money.
What about the pets then?
They should pay more.
They should. If I worked at a pet store and you came in to get rock salt or an alternative for rock salt, I'd be like, no. This is for the pets.
For the kitties.
They're doing it for their steps.
Yeah.
I could make the case that it was for my dog on the step. I don't have a dog,
right. But if you then go ass over tea kettle and split your head, you're suing somebody. Money. What does it all come down to, Joe?
Money.
Where does it all come back to?
Money.
Do you think I should make some money?
The money.
The money is mine. I have the money. The money is mine.
What am I worth? You're $10. What does that make me worth?
I think
Joe?
you're $10. We're on the same.
I don't think we're on the same plane.
Plateau.
I don't think so.
I think so.
If you're worth 10, I'm worth what? 5?
You're worth $10. I'm 10 because I want people to find me. Some people are $50. I should go on here and look up how much some people are. I actually haven't done that.
What is the Joe Murray to Matt McCarthy exchange rate on Cameo?
I think you're a $10, bro.
You think I'm a $10 talent? I
think you're a $10. Well, that sounds insulting now. No. I start mine at between $10 and $15.
You see, I think you're worth more than $10.
Well, I mean,
so if I'm worth 10, and we got inflation we got to deal with here, Joe. If I'm worth 10, you're worth 20.
Well, I mean, I don't want to bump mine up because I don't want to.
Yeah, you just want to take care of the people.
I just want your money. So I don't, Big Jim Murray's on here.
What's Jim going for? What's the Jim Murray going rate?
$25.
Okay, so you should be worth.
But he is a prime-time player.
Okay, but you are still the night show host on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
That's why I'm at $10.
The most listened to. I'm saying you're selling yourself short.
I am.
You're telling me I'm selling myself short. Mm-hmm. I want to tell you in return that you are selling yourself short.
So do you want to negotiate then? I'll go up to 15. You go to 10.
I'll go to 10. I'll start at 10, but only if you're 15.
All right, I'm going to 15.
There you go. Joe Murray, $15 on Kim.
But
that's a good $15 right there.
We got to get you on there now.
Okay, so what do I need to do?
You go to Cameo, download the app.
Okay.
You basically put yourself on there.
Yep.
And then,
That's it. Then I just pick the price, and there you go.
You'll get notifications and all that stuff. Mine, you can also mine says I'm a radio host and digital content creator in Boston. And you can, but I think we got to get Matt on there. Because, you have a lot of takes in life. And I sometimes would like to hear yours. Like your turkey takes, I don't care for, but you know what? You're passionate about it.
I've got a take. Always have a take, Joe.
I'll say this. I've done radio for 20 years, and I had a guy a couple weeks ago who was like, Joe, you used to work for me, and you told me my show sucked. I don't think I ever told anybody their show sucked. You were here for that, right?
I
Jeff?
heard that.
You were here for that. Remember there was a guy who said years ago I told him his show sucked? That's not true. I've never, ever told anybody.
That's not you. You wouldn't say that.
Exactly. So
I've known you for years. You wouldn't say that.
I'm glad you know that. I would never, ever tell anybody. Dude, my show's not great, but you know what? This is authentic. This is what you're going to get. I'm not going to change. Sorry. I don't know where I'm going with all this, but Matt McCarthy should be on Cameo.
As somebody says in the YouTube chat, this is like hearing someone do tech support live. What are you worth? Oh, you just go on and you do this.
This was like Jaron Duran in Red Sox arbitration. So, hey, I think I should be worth, what did they land on, actually? What was the number?
They agreed. That's all that matters. Joe, I don't care how you get there. I don't care. Just talk to me about the results. But if you're involved in it, and it's your money on the line, you care.
You should get on Cameo.
I'll do it.
Because, there could be like yesterday, some guys in a hockey keeper league. Like, I just busted their balls about being in a hockey keeper league. That
is kind of some sick behavior.
Well, it's baseball fantasy.
No, I mean, it's the same thing.
But it's 180 days a year.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sick.
But you'll do it.
I've done it in the past. I don't have to.
So there you go. The baseball fan can now associate you with their fantasy league. Mm-hmm. Hey, Matt, I want you to trash my buddy for doing this trade.
Oh, I can do that. You want me to trash your buddy? I can make that happen.
$10.
5.
Well, it's 10.
Is 10 the minimum?
I'm 15. You're 10.
Okay. 7.5.
Listen, we're getting you on there. Tim's in the truck. Hey, Tim. Hey, Tim.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
I thought you butt dialed
That's
me.
all right. No. First off, you have $15 plus. I just looked it up while I was sitting there waiting.
Thank you. I just did it.
And I'll also have my wife do it for a happy birthday for me in September. But
I did. I did one already.
No. I'll make sure she does it for me.
Well, hey, you know what? Awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hey, my question was: you're talking about leadership in the locker room. I was wondering what your thoughts were about Trevor Story being a leader in the locker room, although a veteran, not really being there because of the injuries. That's the reason why I was calling.
If Trevor Story is your leader, you're not going anywhere. Where's he ever been? He spends half the year on the injured list. He's barely played in the playoffs. I think he has 22 career plate appearances in the playoffs. Hasn't been there since 2018. No, this is why you need to bring in a guy like Alex Bregman. I think Bregman's going to play. Story's going to miss another 3 months this year. You just wait. Story's also not a very good player at this point. Good defender. Has a little bit of pop, but can't hit breaking balls. Can't hit right-handed pitchers. Can't stay on the field. You had to bring in Bregman. Had to. Somebody like that. This team is desperately missing. Who do you want, Joe, influencing your young players? Right Alex Bregman or Trevor Story?
Oh, Bregman, but man, I just want Bregman to just not get hurt. Not Bregman. Story. I just want him to play 130 games. Bat 225, maybe hit 25 home runs.
It's good to want things, Joe.
I know.
It's good to want things.
Hey, last year I was asked on a show, not my own, what do you think is the biggest issue for the Red Sox to see improvement this year? And I said better defense, and I got ridiculed for that.
Who ridiculed?
Yeah, well, just take a guess. But anyways,
what better defense?
I said I
need
threw
that.
defense at the man.
Yep,
and he didn't accept it.
Let me ask: does this man watch baseball?
Probably. I mean, he works on a show with a guy who does a baseball hour. So, I mean,
I think your answer was right. Your answer was the answer of a man who's watched the Red Sox and said defense is a problem. Listen, they need to fix it.
Working nights here, I watch the games. I watch them. Not always because I want to. Like the Bruins. I don't want to watch the game. We got to work these games. You think I want to watch them? They suck. But I have to watch them. But one thing I noticed about the Red Sox, their defense stinks.
It's not good.
It cost them a lot of games.
Yes.
Oh, didn't they tell us that, by the way? The owner? One of the owners?
And you know what? They weren't wrong about it.
They weren't.
They just didn't do anything last year to address it. Now they finally addressed it.
They're serious.
A right-handed hitter who can field a ground ball.
Wow, the Red Sox
concept.
Are serious about winning games now?
They are. And they're going to win games. This team will be pretty good. They are a playoff team.
All right, Matt, we got another hour to go. I do want some football thoughts from you.
Let's do it.
We'll get back to Bregman, the USA, you guys. I don't know what else is happening on this radio station today, but, man, I think we've touched on a lot of topics. I'm ready for that Saturday Night Live tonight. Will Taylor Swift be there? You're a Swiftie.
I don't know. She's done at least a few things with SNL, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first person I'm thinking. I mean, you're thinking all right, who's going to be there from the old cast? Aykroyd.
I want the music. I want the music.
Well, didn't they do the music the other night, which I haven't caught up on?
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got to see. It's live tonight, I believe, at 8:00.
Bring it on.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
But you can watch it on Peacock. But again, I don't subscribe for Peacock.
But you can get it.
Yes.
You'll be able to watch.
Yes.
That's good.
Also, I would like to let our friends know who watch on YouTube that YouTube TV and the agreement with CBS, they've come to an agreement, so they're not going to lose it. But
thank God.
Talk about a monopoly. They wanted to basically, March Madness was going to come and basically take it away from everyone on YouTube TV. Like, that's...
I'm on the trial right now for YouTube TV because of course I talked about this. I wanted to stay on cable, but once Nesson and NBC Sports Boston start costing me more, out.
Yeah.
Had to go.
Well,
so I'm on the trial.
Does Nesson and NBC Sports Boston know that YouTube TV is like, you know, like everybody? You might not like what we say about the network. Sorry, people. You might not like it, but for me, I want to get out of cable. Okay. I pay over. This is me bitching.
I want to get back into cable.
I'm bitching about this, but I pay over $300. I've talked about this. I pay over $350 a month for my cable bill. Okay, we don't get reimbursed, right?
Not me.
Imagine, hey, I need to watch all the games. Here is my cable bill every month. Reimburse me.
Is this a tax write-off?
Is that happening? No, it's not. By the way, it's not. And don't try to because they'll ask for it if they're still hired. Anyways, my point is this. I don't want to pay all that money for your cable. There's not one place to get it all anymore. I got to go here. I got to there. This is not a Felger rant about apps or anything.
It's true, though. It's true.
Like, I want to watch wrestling. I got to watch Netflix on Monday. I got to watch CW one day. I got to go on Peacock for another one. And then it's like, where do I watch it all? Can I get it? I sound like old man yelling at clouds right now.
But this is 100% the take.
So, no, but if anybody wants to come at me from, like, you know, one of your companies there, make it easy for us, will ya?
That's all I want. I just want my 4 teams all in one place.
Last night, what channel was the USA game on?
ABC.
5. Locally. Boom. 5.
There you go.
It was there.
Rabbit ears.
The whole world watched it, I think. But it was easy to find. When it's on the CW, I can't find it. What is CW?
805.
What is CW?
God, I missed that.
What is CW? What does it stand for?
It used to be the WB.
Okay. The Channel 56, Dale Norman, all that stuff?
WLVI, baby. Roman numerals.
What do we got? What channel's the All-Star game on today in basketball? Do we even know?
I mean,
are you going to watch it?
No.
Who's going to win?
I don't care.
You want Team Kenny or Shaq?
I actually hope I don't get that channel.
We get the final hour of the show coming up next here in the Sports Hub.
More Joe.
I know the song, but I'm trying to. Was this on the Madden?
I think this band has been on the Madden soundtrack, but not this song.
Who is it, and what is it?
This is Chevelle, Send the Pain Below.
Chevelle.
Bury that pain. Send it below.
I believe the clincher was on Madden 25. Whatever was the Madden 25 edition.
Seether, I think, was on there, right?
Seether was on the 203 version.
Aware now about everything's gonna be fine. So that was when. I mean, I don't want to call it butt rock, but.
Well, it is now Divorced Dad Rock.
Divorced Divorced Dad Rock, huh?
Is that because all of us who grew up with it are now divorced
like
dads?
Me.
Yeah.
Okay, so like 3 Doors Down, would that be considered?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely Divorced Dad Rock.
Without you, baby.
If they have a catalog where it's very depressing, sad music, yes, it's Divorced Dad Rock. Like Creed. Creed is Divorced Dad Rock.
Creed is Divorced Dad Rock music now. I mean, I guess you're right.
I'm 6 feet from the edge, but I'm thinking
maybe 6 feet
ain't so far down.
Well, what do you consider Offspring? I think it's punk rock.
Yeah, I would say so.
Early Offspring's definitely like punk rock, but like their later stuff is pop.
Shattered Dreams? Well, Papa Roach, where do they land in there?
That's just new metal.
New metal? Okay. Just wanted to. Divorced Dad Rock. Oh, wow. They actually have Divorced Dad playlists on Spotify.
Yeah. I'm spinning that on the way home.
Oh, Chop Suey's on there. My Chemical Romance. Green Day Basket Case, huh?
That's a good playlist right there.
Nickelback, How You Remind Me.
Anybody who says they don't like Nickelback.
Agree.
Actually kind of likes Nickelback.
Listen, when I liked Fuel. I saw them live. I loved Fuel. Okay? Say what you want about them. I loved them. Seven Dust, loved. Saw them a couple of times. But Creed, I saw live. I watched Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains open up for Creed. And it was one of the best shows I ever saw in my life. But
Creed was awesome this past summer.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to understand, these huge acts, like using Taylor Swift for an example, when she's playing a concert now, it's going to be like a great production. Like, yeah, she dances and is incredible. And I've watched the Eras Tour, and I loved it. Eras Tour is fantastic.
Incredible show.
I actually
was there. It was awesome.
You were there. That's right.
I was there.
I remember this.
It's a good time.
But it was epic, right? Like
it was epic.
But when you see stars, when you see great, like I don't care for a lot of these country stars, but if I went to a show, I bet you it's awesome. Like the production of it all would be incredible.
Listen, if you're the best at what you're doing from anything, I can probably get into it. Like last night, isn't that what makes USA Canada so good?
Yeah.
Those are the best two nations in the world at hockey. And they were out to prove that we are the best.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. That's good stuff, Joe.
I'm putting you on the spot here. What did you think of the halftime show?
It was fine. I'm not familiar with Kendrick Lamar's music. I didn't get it, but that's a me thing. That's not an issue with what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a me thing.
I'm in the know, bro.
I'm not in the know.
I'm in the know.
That's a me problem.
I can listen. I like Kendrick Lamar. Did I think it was a great halftime show? No. But did I love when he went up there and was dropping Drake lines and Serena's out there dancing? Like Petty.
See, I didn't know any of that. And then I saw it on Twitter after. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good.
So now what I like is because you probably know the song, They're Not Like Us. You probably heard it a million. But now every time I scroll now, I hear dun dun dun, dun They Not Like Us. And I watch this Carlton dance, and now everything that I watch is matched up. I watch the Grease, tell me more, dun 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 dun. Like now I'm obsessed. So I feel like if I'm not one of these like where do people rank on Spotify lists, but I guarantee Kendrick Lamar has gone up big time this week. And while that happened, Drake dropped a new album. But you're not in the know, and it's okay. Hey, listen, I don't know what's going on with Bruce Springsteen these days.
That's fine.
What is going on with Bruce Springsteen these days?
He's going to be touring in Europe this summer. I know that.
Did you watch the making of the We Are the World documentary?
I haven't, but I need to.
Bruce, big part of it.
Yes,
had a little bit of a scratchy voice before,
and I know the story. He basically like showed up. I mean, they all did. That's the great part of that. We Are the World. We Are the World isn't a good song, but it's more how it was made and how it all got together. It's like the story of like Springsteen, like flying in from his final tour on Born in the USA. He rents a car and just parks it out on Sunset Boulevard and just like walks in like a normal guy.
Can I give you another voice that I call this new country voice? Okay. Because the name of the song is Springsteen.
Oh, Eric Church.
I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about 17. There's a poster in the sky. I don't know what he's saying, but that is country voice.
Yes.
Like Pearl Jam is. But that's not
far because there's a little bit of a like type
twang,
of thing.
Twang.
There's a bit of a twang. There's a. I'm going to call it more. I was going to say I shouldn't go there. I was going to take the T out, and then it's just going to sound weird.
But the country stuff now is like, I think country's now pop music.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
I don't think country music. I think Garth Brooks. When I think
George
of country
Strait,
music,
Hank Williams.
That's what I think it is.
Trust me, the second that comes on in the car, my girlfriend who's a country music fan, George Strait song comes on, she's changing the channel because that's not country to her.
What got me was I heard some young people really liked the song Fast Car. And they were like, this is so good. You got to hear the song. And I go,
yeah, I know.
I heard that song in like 1985.
It was great. She was playing it out in Harvard Square.
Yeah. But like, do you know the story means a lot? Like the song is like pretty
intense.
It's pretty intense. But people thought that was the first time I ever heard it. Was him. Luke Bryan? Is that his name?
Luke Combs.
Damn it.
People are
Luke Combs. I can't even get their names right.
Your take today, Joe, that people are ignorant, which I think is a spot on take.
I'm ignorant about country music. Go ahead.
I'm ignorant about the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. We all have areas of ignorance. You need to acknowledge it. What do I know? I don't know anything about that.
What was this called?
Joe, what do I know about sports?
Setting expectations, right?
You got to set the expectations where they need to be. And then if somebody doesn't meet your expectations, did you say, hey, these were my expectations. This is where I set them. We talked about this.
Springsteen. If we're going to do emo voice, there's country voice,
there's country voice, there's real country voice, then there's twang country voice, then there's fake twang country voice, there's whatever the hell I do, Fred. Southern man, but not really.
I knee slapped there.
Mean, there's an alteration on all of it.
I'm thinking about you. Now I'm thinking about him. I don't even know the words. But man, that Springsteen song. You know he's got a song after him now.
Catchy little tune.
Just like in Hootie and the Blowfish. Put on a little dilly. I want to be with you. Post Malone covered that too.
Is there anything he can't do? So you never answered the question. Did you like the cover?
I liked it, but if I'm being a music snob, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. If I'm really bringing it up, did he play the chords right? Was everybody in tune? Absolutely not. But did I appreciate Post Malone singing Sweet Smell? If I get a chance to see Chris Novoselic alive, I'm in.
Yep.
They even let Pat Smear on stage. The unspoken fourth member of the three-person band. Who can do Kurt Cobain?
Nobody.
So just put anybody there. So I thought he did a good job.
It was fine.
My only thing about Post Malone is this. Disclaimer. I like Post Malone. So whenever the other night I was killing people about Valentine's Day and all that stuff. But I love love. Like Lady Gaga. Love. I want your love.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
I want your love and I want your revenge. Like I want it all. Okay, I love it. Disclaimer on Post Malone. He started out doing hip hop and rap. Then he was doing rock music. Now he is doing country music.
But you don't like that.
No, well, he's a chameleon, but at the same time, I think he does whatever makes money.
Yes, so that's
So I
no doubt.
I like money.
Listen, country music is where the money is right now. There is no doubt about that. That being said, any musician who can do multiple genres and do them really well,
you gotta respect it.
you have to respect. Now, that's I would say the problem with a lot of the folks in country music is the Nashville machine. They are only products of the Nashville machine. Post Malone is not a product of the Nashville machine. He's going there because that's where the money is. But trust me, there are people in Nashville who look down on Taylor Swift because she moved away from that thing. Best decision she ever made. You know why? Because she can do it. Because she's more talented than 98% of the people who come out of it.
Agree. People would probably say this about Taylor, right? Started off country because she was.
Yep.
She's really gotten to a lot of pop music.
It limited her.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
respect
It did limit her.
any musician who can do things across multiple genres. Like, that is no joke.
Now, someone just said...
most of them cannot.
You're right. If you're talented, you can do multiple things. Now, I loved Stained growing up. Aaron Lewis, once he started doing country, I was out. Darius Rucker, though, I think he can do country music. I do. You would call him probably pop music, right?
Yes.
But he can sing country. Like, he can sing. Dude can sing. But
I don't know where.
But when Steven Tyler starts doing country, see ya. Out.
Out.
And by the way, someone mentioned that Post Malone's following the Kid Rock thing. No, out. By the way, this is a true story. Kid Rock signed a 3-year contract when he first got his big deal. They gave him huge money. He had to put out 3 albums. Okay? The first album, Bought with the Ball and all that, with the middle finger on the front cover, awesome album. Really good. Everything else sucked.
Yeah.
Because why? He had to make the 3 albums.
But he also, let's be honest, didn't have the talent.
He has no talent, but you know what? He was an icon, right?
Yes.
When you do Cowboy, well, I'm a hitter. Like, he was, what was he? At that time,
was
rock and rap just worked. Rack.
Yes.
What do you call it? Oof, yes, I'll give you that. But there might have been some talent in that band. Might have been. But the DJ is great, too. Kid Rock, there ain't a lot of talent there.
No.
No.
Come on.
No. Like, there ain't a lot of talent there. And then he did the Sheryl Crow. Oh, wish I had a girl who missed me. I ain't heard from you.
I threw your picture away.
Threw your picture away.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
What, Joe, that is the NBA All-Star Weekend of music right there. That is... Maybe it's for you, but it really shouldn't be.
I was off to drink you away. I bet you everyone yells that line. Thought about you for a long time. Vomit! There it is.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 9.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about him. There's a poster in the sky. Springsteen. All right, back here at 98.5, the Sports Hub. Is this divorced dad rock?
No, this is just straight up new metal Deftones.
Oh, Deftones. Ooh, I haven't heard the new stuff.
Oh,
Great
this
band.
is old Deftones.
Oh, what album was this on?
This is Around the Fur, self-titled.
Oh, wow. I got to go back in time. I'll stop with the music talk because I do have to. Just before I get to this, Matt, do you still have eligibility left? Like, you graduated college, right? Would you have any eligibility, like, to go back to school if you had to?
I mean, based on, have I looked at the NCAA rules? But based on the fact that we have guys in college football for like 9 years, I'm going to assume I have some level of eligibility.
Just,
yes.
We'll bookmark that for a second here. Can you just, Jake, put something together there on the Springsteen song? I only heard a little of it there. Maybe you can crank that back up for us, Jeff. But I have looked up the Springsteen lyrics. It's by Eric Church. You know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about him. There's a poster in the sky. Springsteen. So I looked up the lyrics.
That is like a South Park cover of a country hit.
So it's supposed to be, I was singing to you, you were singing to me.
You got close, Joe. I think I got closer on My Chemical Romance than you did on Eric Church.
Yours is definitely a keeper.
Yeah.
Why is this called Springsteen?
Because it's a song about being young and listening to Bruce Springsteen with some girl.
When I think about you, I think about 17.
I think about my old Jeep. Think about the stars in the sky.
Funny how that melody sounds like a memory.
Yeah.
Like
a
the
soundtrack to a July Saturday night. Springsteen. Yeah.
Does Springsteen remind you of July Saturday nights?
Yeah, certainly some of it.
You know what reminds me of July Saturday nights?
What's that?
The Red Sox.
Two of my favorite things, Joe. The Red Sox and Bruce Springsteen. Funny how those go together.
It's funny how those...
Old white man. Just white bread. Generic.
Facts.
This dude likes baseball and Bruce. That is a stereotype that is totally true.
Oh, man. All right, so you said you have some. You think you have some eligibility left?
Probably. I didn't take advantage of my eligibility when I had it, so I've got to be eligible. It's what people have always said about me. Matt McCarthy, very eligible. And why do you ask, Joe?
Well, Bill Belichick in the University of North Carolina.
So you need some help?
Holding tryouts for anyone that is enrolled in school. They're holding tryouts. So listen, disclaimer here, again, I think Bill Belichick's going to be a success in college. I think he's going to go back to the NFL. But when this first came out, I was working with Big Jim, and he goes, "This is low, man. This is low." And I think everyone else felt the same way. Bill Belichick hosting tryouts.
I'm just trying to imagine me, like a 19-year-old kid, showing up. What
I want this Matt McCarthy
you want
now.
Me showing
I want
up.
this now, Matt. Now. Yes,
almost 34-year-old doughy Matt McCarthy. I played wiffle ball last year and felt like my body was going to fall apart. That guy.
I'm 42 years old.
Uh-huh.
If I can be coached by Bill Belichick, I'm trying out. For real.
You're going to do that to yourself?
I'll long snap.
Now, Joe, I'm not above embarrassing myself. I've certainly done that. I mean, look at the career I've chosen. I embarrass myself on a daily basis when I'm out here. That might even be too far for me. Me showing up at a tryout to try to play college football for Bill Belichick. I wouldn't do that to myself. I'm not saying I have pride or standards, Joe, because I don't. But I'm not going there. That's even too far for me.
I bet you they get a ton of people that show up.
Of course they do.
And then you're going to be like, Bill Belichick found this guy at tryouts. Watch some kicker. Like, there'll be like a guy who now kicks for, there's a lot of jobs available in the NFL these days.
Joe, he could have the entire UNC lacrosse team try out. That's like a Bill Belichick wet dream right there. Imagine that.
I got a hot take for you.
Lay it on me.
No. Me and Skaz have, this is a Skaz curation, but now I'm delivering it.
A curation or a creation?
Curation?
Oh.
Curation.
Like a museum. He's curating something.
So, Bill Belichick's at North Carolina.
Yes.
Their basketball team is struggling. They won the national championship a couple of years ago. We know Roy Williams retired. Hubert Davis came in. It's not working out. The Celtics, Brad Stevens, came out this week and said he's not interested in the Indiana job. It's open. It's available. He said no. What about North Carolina?
Brad Stevens going to North Carolina? Why would Brad Stevens leave one of the best jobs in sports?
Because of the financial situation with the Celtics. This is it.
Okay.
After this, his contract's up next year, by the way.
All right. So, important context.
So, contract up after next season.
Okay.
Celtics need to make some moves regarding. I mean, this team's not coming back next year. It's not.
No.
Unless the owner pays the tax.
But who's the owner?
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Right. Okay, so the owner.
So that's what I'm going
right,
with. Right.
Okay. The ownership situation, that makes more sense. Like the whole would Brad Stevens leave because he doesn't want to be a GM thing? Joe, what would you rather be? Would you rather put the team together or coach the team?
You won back-to-back championships. You have to blow. He's the one who's going to have to blow it up. You think he wants to do that?
No.
What other?
I haven't thought about.
What
this.
other like Duke's?
I like this.
Duke's.
I don't like it, but I like it.
Duke is a destination, right? What's the next destination in college basketball?
You're right.
North Carolina. And I get it. NBA. Listen, we all have takes. Again, not my original take. Curated by one James Scaramuzzino, who, by the way, will be doing the Green Teamers tonight with Sean Silver.
That'd be good. That'd be a good show. Yeah. Silver knows his hoops.
Yeah. Just for this is what we do, right? We're on sports. We
converse.
This sports radio take brought to you by James Scaramuzzino. But UNC needs an overhaul. Belichick's there. He's bringing the program back in football that they never had, by the way. Well, they're a basketball school.
Well, I mean, he's going to build it by finding guys in open tryouts. I think we can all agree with that.
He will, damn it. How many kids are out there like, man, Bill Belichick coached me, man? I could have been on a 5-star.
Joe, if Bill Belichick coached you, all right, I want to hear
the Joe Dozer.
I want to hear.
Oh yeah,
it was the coaches that held you back. Right?
It was no, it was the coaches that put you forward.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of people who. How many guys do you? Well, never mind.
Well, no. I mean, in my athletic career, Joe, it was definitely my coaches.
The
and
coaches
teammates.
held you back.
No, they held me back for sure. Coaches and teammates.
Nope, Belichick can get you over the hump.
Yep. Definitely wasn't the first time I saw a curveball and nearly crapped myself. Like, definitely wasn't that.
That happened to me. I was a left-handed batter, and I saw my first slider from the varsity level as a freshman, and I went, "Oh boy!" That looked like it was going to hit me. It was like behind me, and then just ended up right over the plate. And I went, "Whew, this isn't Parkway Little League anymore."
I will never forget. Keith Field in Bourne, short porch and left. My brother owned there, hit bombs there, home runs out to the canal, all that. Short porch, lefty. I will never forget. It's the first place I saw a curveball, get in the box, and this kid, it's an older kid pitching. He sees, here comes this tubby little, you can tell I'm big diamond, all that. It's like, I got this kid. Spins off a curveball. I dive out of the box. Strike one. Like, oh, God, here we go.
Like John Kruk?
Yep. No, I'm waiting. I'm like, okay, it's coming. Pitch 2, fastball right down the middle. Because I'm like, oh, just stay in the box. Just stay in the box. Fastball right down the middle. Pitch 3, pulls a changeup on me. I'm way out in front. I'm like, you know what? I think I better take that umpire's exam. Time to start making money.
Hey, you made money.
Made
being
money.
an ump.
Money.
You swept that plate fantastic.
Nobody swept that plate better than me. Coach would be like, "Hey, could you sweep that plate?" I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you go after yourself?" Oh, you didn't like that call? You want me to sweep the plate? Kick some dirt on it.
That's another realism of baseball and officials, right? Someone's chirping you.
Yep.
Big time call comes down. You don't get the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. I kicked dirt on my own plate once.
You kicked dirt on me. Strike
Just
three.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Strike three, bro.
Yep. Little power trip.
It was so funny. I watched these. I love these little league kids. This kid the other day threw the ball to third, and he looked like he was out. They called him safe, and the kid just started swearing, and the ump's like, "You're out," and he goes, and he just threw the glove at him, threw the helmet at him, took off the chest pad, and then gave the double birds and left the game. And when I had to look up how old he was, 10. Is that
it's
you,
like
Jeff?
early reminiscence of my last Little League game ever. I pretty much did the same thing.
That's when the attitudes start a little bit around those age.
Yeah.
That age for sure.
Well, you want to go to North Carolina, you can, just sign up, get into the school, and then you could try out for Bill Belichick in North Carolina. I want my name on the helmet,
Yeah.
Would they put a Tar Heel on there? You think would it just be a plain helmet?
Joe,
or would
you're
it
working
have...
under the assumption that you make the team.
No, I'm just trying out.
For the tryout, you think you're getting your
Dude.
name on your helmet? Well, actually, I guess they got to know who you are.
I'm being dead serious. If there's someone that wants to go and do this, I will do a whole 30 for 30 on it.
Like the guy who just tries out for Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I want to know everything. I want to know this.
You should go do it yourself.
No, I want to do it myself, but I have to then go to the school and then.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because
get you enrolled.
No, I need someone that wants to get enrolled.
Yep.
Try out for the football team, and I'll literally talk about the whole entire thing.
It's college football, Joe. Does it really matter if you go to the school anymore? Come on.
I'm living in the portal. Just living in the portal. All right, we got to go to break. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening.
All right, back here in 98.5, the Sports Hub. It's been fun today, Matt.
It has been, Joe. I missed working with you. It's always a good time.
It's been a long time. I did think, though, we've Matt McCarthy has now got imaging at the station. I think we found your intro today.
Black Parade. Welcome to the Black Parade.
Can we hear it one more time, Jeff? Because there's nothing better when it's just organic. You know what I mean? Just organic stuff that just hits. But I feel like there's a lot of music talk tonight. The reason why I'm inspired by the music stuff is tonight at 8 o'clock on NBC, they're doing the 50-year anniversary of Saturday Night Live, but it's a lot of their music acts. So I guess it was on Peacock, but I don't pay for Peacock. So tonight I can watch it on regular television. This all started by you asking me about the Post Malone Nirvana, which turned into emo, country, the Mount Rushmore of a-holes.
Which, again, we do not have enough land for.
But here's Matt McCarthy's new intro to his show here on 98.5 The Sports.
I thought.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
He said, son, when
He did say, Joe. He did.
would you be the savior?
The savior of the broken. This is my calling, Joe. It is. Right all the wrongs from childhood, you know.
Your demons.
I've been taking it out on the Red Sox all along. Now I can advance beyond that. Red Sox have gotten Alex Bregman. Life's better. Yeah. I can put my emo phase behind me.
You know what? I there's a lot of phases I've put behind me, Matt.
You're fighting Tim Hudson phases?
Yeah, his days are. I didn't physically get in an altercation with him.
But your buddy did.
My buddy did, confirmed. Then he went out and pitched a disaster. I believe they got bounced in that. Who did the Red Sox play in the next round?
The Yankees.
That's right, because it went 7 games and they lost. Right?
Yeah.
And then the next year they were down 3-0. Have you seen that new documentary?
Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
Actually, the new one I liked.
Yeah. I think it's the definitive documentary on that experience. And I was not expecting that. It's like, I know the story. I've lived this before. We've all seen 4 Days in October. You rewatch it. That talk was great.
To get real, we've had a pretty fun show, but to get a little serious, the Tim Wakefield stuff was like, dude,
powerful.
I was just seeing him in the locker room after he gave up the home run, and everybody walked up to everybody.
I don't think I'd ever seen that footage
never did
before.
Either. Never either.
You'd heard about it. You knew about it. I don't think I'd seen the footage.
Just knowing now Wakefield, his story, no longer with us, obviously. Seeing that, you're right. I never saw that before, and that was in hindsight feelings. Everyone loved him, and that night nobody wanted him to be the issue. And I think we all know the story now. Shouldn't have been in that game to begin with. The knuckleball was so risky at that time.
Well, I mean, who else were they going to go with at that point? They had already screwed up the game. It happened 3 innings earlier. We don't need to relive it.
By the way, just on that, Grady Little, take some accountability, bro.
20 years later.
Take some accountability.
Like, yeah, I screwed up.
If Rick Pitino can go on this new Celtics documentary and crap on his time with the Celtics, I think people 20 years later should be able to take accountability on things.
And that's why, in some ways, why it's good to do these documentaries 20 years after. You know, the whole thing, like The Last Dance is amazing, right? But it's because it's removed far enough so people either have forgotten the grudges or they're still so dug in on the grudges that it makes it even better. It's like
Scottie Pippen still thinks he's the best player.
You're still bitter after all these years, which is why, like, the dynasty and all that, like, can we wait 5 minutes for this thing to be over before we start doing 10-part docuseries on this? 20 years. I think we found out with The Last Dance and The Red Sox thing, that's kind of the sweet spot. 20 to 25 years. Most of the principals are still around. They still are going to have strong feelings about it in some way, and then you'll relive it. 20 years. Come at me with the Patriots stuff 20 years from now.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear about Malcolm Butler at some point.
We will someday. 20 years from now. Unless that NDA is real strong.
Is there a song for that, Matty? See you in 20 years?
I'm sure there's something out there. There's some song to convey that emotion. I can't come up with it off the top of my head, Joe.
I didn't ask you this as we have to go. Would you go offense or defense with the first pick, fourth pick with the Pats?
Can I give you an in-between answer?
Sure.
You go trenches. Defensive line, offensive line. I don't want skill position. I don't want anything there. Either somebody who's protecting the quarterback or getting to the quarterback.
Well, Nick Cattles is here. We
hasn't and accounted.
Barely did any football talk, so it's wide open for Nick to just lay into it today.
Hey, listen, this is normally one of the worst sports weekends of the year. If not for that Four Nations thing last night, what are you talking about? It's a great week to take off in sports radio. Thank God we have that thing.
Thank you for being here today, Matt. I really loved having you.
Thank you for being here today.
Hey, the show's on YouTube if you missed any of it, because it's not going to be on our website. Hey, Jeff, great job, sir. Jake, excellent as always.
Man.
Matt McCarthy, you're awesome.
See you, Joe.
I'm Joe Murray. Stay tuned. Nick Cattles has you for the rest of the afternoon. Coming up next
on the Sports Hub.
Scrub-A-Dub's unlimited car wash plan lets you wash anytime for one low monthly price. The all-new Scrub-A-Dub Worcester is now open on Park Ave.
Anytime's a good time to be Scrub-A-Dub clean.
Hi, I'm Eric Vaden. I'm the agency owner for the Geico local office in Braintree, Massachusetts. Having Cambridge Savings Bank as a partner has given me the runway to build my business the right way with the best talent. Having that personalized service along with the technology necessary to run my business has been the biggest advantage to my operation. CSB is the business banking partner that I wanted from the start. I'm not just a number.
Cambridge Savings Bank is proud to support local business owners. Stop by your local branch